Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the last International Women of Blockchain event for 2022. I am truly happy that we have finally made it to day 31 and had a thorough celebration of all the women in the blockchain space. But we're not done. We still got more women to showcase to you. Oh man, I'm so excited to have all of you join us and for you all to join us through this journey of us celebrating the International Women of Blockchain in this event throughout the month of March. It's been a historical event that we all are very happy that you were able to come on this journey with us as we presented to you various women from all across the globe who are working, building, creating, and participating in this blockchain ecosystem. It warms my heart that we were able to celebrate us. We were able to celebrate the entire ecosystem. We were able to show that women can be speakers, women can lead, women can create, women can be anything they want to be in this blockchain ecosystem. Man, this has been fantastic. It is bittersweet for me because I actually enjoyed coming on every day early in the morning and preparing to be here with you guys and showcasing the various women who have graced our stages, who have introduced us to a whole lot, who have given us really tough debates and topics and discussions for us to have, because it's very necessary. The experiences that we've had traveling through the different metaverses, getting to know certain tips and ways that we can maintain our mental health. It has been fantastic. All 5 weeks in March, all 31 days in March, we presented to you, live streamed to you, everything that you needed to know about this blockchain ecosystem. And as you travel through this ecosystem, realize that it's all about community. It's all about the individuals that you know. It's all about the network. It's all about collaboration. And it's also all about providing your input because it's very much important and needed in this space. Question everything and make sure you participate. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Know that the space is welcoming. The space is and will continue to provide education. This space is for everyone, all of us, working together, building this blockchain decentralized ecosystem that we want to participate in and experiencing the wonderful metaverses that will be created and looking forward to those interoperabilities that we will be able to finally realize. Man, I'm so thankful that all of you have joined us today. I'm thankful to have you all through this journey. I'm thankful for the committee members, which you guys will see them again later on today. We have a few surprises for you all. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I thank you for the encouragement. I thank our sponsors, Block, Hero, Copper Seed Safe, Defentasy. Thank you all for believing in this journey that we took together. Thank you for listening to a crazy girl with an idea. Thank you to all my committee members who were here in the beginning and who consistently stayed throughout the end. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you. Thank you for rallying behind me and lifting me up and supporting me in bringing this, because without you all, I could not have brought this forth. Thank you, everyone. And with that, I want to go ahead and start the show. So I'm going to invite Corey. Corey is our wonderful moderator for Table Talk Thursday. Welcome, Corey. We made it.
Yes, we did. And Yinka, you and the team have so much to be proud of. I completely, applaud you and echo everything that you had to say. If there's no way that you watched any portion of this month-long live stream and you weren't inspired, uplifted, encouraged, felt supported, seen, you identified with, one or more or all of the guests that we had here. So I'm looking forward and energized to move forward, doing new things, knowing that there are so many incredible women out there doing so many wonderful, amazing, innovative things in blockchain.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And I can't wait to continue tapping into these ladies. Our Discord is about to be popping. It's about to be really active, especially since this event ends today. But it does not end the journey and the celebration. We will continue to provide you with content in our Discord. And we definitely will have a 2023. It's important for us to continue this journey and make sure that women, when they enter this space, they know that they are surrounded by a community of other women leaders who have pioneered in this space and are willing to hold your hand and walk you through this process. And so with that, I'll let you go ahead, Corey. Thank you.
Thanks, Yinka. Just want to let you ladies know, just as what Yinka said, this is a safe space for you to land. Make sure you get into our Twitter space there. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you are in our Discord so that you can be connected and continue to connect with women in blockchain. I know this is indeed our last, I say that kind of, it's bittersweet, Table Talk Thursday, but I feel like it should be called Things You Didn't Know Thursday, because we have some other great women coming to the stage that are going to inform you and enlighten you. And I bet you didn't know how many amazing women there were out there working, innovating in Web3. And I'm going to bring such a lady to the stage. Her name is Kayla Love. Please help me welcome her. She is going to introduce herself and talk about the innovative ways that she is using NFTs in the space. Good morning, Kayla, and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Corey. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm over here at NFCLA. So normally I am up
Oh
pretty early, but
my gosh.
the schedule has been wild. I didn't want to scare you away this morning, so I'll just put my avatar on for now.
Well, that's what we do is that as women, we multitask and you're over there, attending NFTLA, but also here with us at International Women of Blockchain Conference. So thank you for being here this morning. I know you have exciting things to tell us. So tell us about yourself and what you're doing in this space currently.
Absolutely. So I'm Kayla Love. I am a hip hop artist based out of the Bay Area, California. I started selling my music as NFTs back over a year ago now. I just passed my 1 year anniversary. And that really opens up a world of possibilities. And I've been investing in crypto since 2017. So I have been doing my research on the blockchain, and I kind of conceptually understood NFTs before NFTs were a thing. But now it was like we actually have the technology to facilitate that concept. And I was so excited about that. So I went on to co write a book called NFTs for Music with one of my co founders. And was able to onboard some people. That's what I'm really passionate about. And so now I'm really interested in this intersection of hip hop music, political science, and education. And I have a project coming out that I've been working really hard on, touring all across the United States, 7 major cities. I was out there in New York just at the beginning of March, pitching and presenting, performing the song, and really trying to create this bridge between the Web 2 and Web 3 music industries.
And I know that's got to be challenging. We have seen many, or at least quite a few music industry, greats. Snoop Dogg, probably most recently and most famously, entering this NFT space with vigor.
Yeah.
And we've seen, other, rappers, of some note, come into the space as well. How challenging do you think it's going to be, given the mentality of Web 2 and artists who have been so used to that one way of kind of doing things, to pull them over into or onboard them over into the Web 3 space? What are you thinking is going to entice them to come with us?
I think once they see the money, then it won't take a whole lot of persuasion.
Show me the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like, and when I sold my first NFT, it was for $100, which by NFT standards, when you see people selling, songs for, or like Latasha, she was like the first woman rapper to sell her music video for over $10,000, right?
Yes.
So when you look at that comparatively, and it's like, wow, I would have had to make over 25,000 streams on something like Spotify to earn that same $100 that I earned in less than 24 hours on the blockchain with the same material. So I think that artists are ready for this, because if you look at the history of the recording industry and Spotify, which arose around 2008, they were solving a problem. And that problem was the music piracy that was plaguing the music industry, costing it millions, if not billions of dollars. And even worse, that artists were not only not getting paid for that music, but they were not able to even know who was streaming their music, how many streams, or get any of that data. So even though everybody likes to bag on Spotify, at the time they were actually solving a very real problem. And we don't go backwards with technology, we go forward. So I think this is the natural progression, because yes, they solved that problem. Another one arose, which is now, wow, we're not able to monetize our music in the ways that we once were. And so that's where NFTs fit in. And I think that, there's a lot of artists that are fed up, that are, especially with the pandemic, not being able to do live shows, which is a very important income stream for music artists. And I think that's really actually made this, fast tracked this technology.
Absolutely. And many of us know the story of, again, most famously groups like TLC, who had all of these, hits in hip hop and ended up with basically pennies on the dollar for all of the work that they did, and very little to show for it, which has been the problem with Web 2, and the way that the music industry has done business for so many years. Web 3, as you said, is going to solve a problem because it gives content creators and artists finally the chance to literally own their own product and to benefit like from that product 100% rather than splitting it, into so many different directions and actually paying record companies to do business with them.
Yes, but on the flip side of that too, Corey, I know there's going to be a lot of artists that are mad because they've been buying followers, they've been buying fake streams, and now
Mm.
you can't do that on the blockchain. It's not going to lie. Somebody either got your NFT or you didn't. You can't go inflate that now. So that's the downside for some of the artists out there that have been doing these other practices.
Talk about why, in NFT music, I feel is going to be, it's getting, much huger. It was, and you mentioned Latasha, who did that, obviously the first big sale in terms of music on NFTs, but now, it has grown so far past where that started. And I see 2022 is really going to be big for music NFTs moving into 2023. What do you see on the horizon, especially as it pertains to women artists?
Well, I have a presentation and it'll kind of go into some of that today because after I sold my first NFT, I just kind of that was like a little sample. It was like, well, how can I really leverage this technology to do a drop I could never dream of doing on Spotify? And the thing about music NFTs is that they're relatively untapped in comparison to the overall NFT market, which has been mainly visual art, the profile picture collections. And so I think what artists are really trying to figure out right now, music artists, are how to create that variation, how to create that differentiation, how to do a drop that's unique to the blockchain. And what's there is really so many different ways that you can do that, and it's kind of everybody's like rushing to crack that code. Some of the barriers have been that with Ethereum being the main blockchain that powers NFTs, I
Mm.
want to go buy my friend's song, $3, I'm down with that, and then check out $57, like I don't know if I'm down with that, especially when a majority is not actually going to the artist. So that's the first huge barrier. The second huge barrier that I see is other than the gas fees is just not knowing how to onboard your fans. So having to make the decision of either spending a lot of time and education to take your current fan base and migrate them over, or to build in an entirely new fan base over here in this Web3 world and tap into the people that are actually on the ground. And the third barrier that I see is just the royalty splits. If you're going on the major platform like OpenSea, then you only have the opportunity to set a royalty of a maximum of 10% that goes to one wallet address. And as you know, in the music industry, there could be multiple writers, 10, 15 writers on the song. So we need to have smart contracts that are going to be able to reflect and facilitate that process of paying out everybody.
Well, what you have described sounds smart and very thoughtful. And if you do have that presentation ready to go, we'll take a look at that and come back and ask you some
Oh,
questions.
sure, sure. Let's go ahead and pull this on up. Is it I'm able to do a screen share here or
Yes, you should be able to hit that share button below.
oh, let's see if it's going to oh, I'm sorry, I have never presented here
You're fine. You're absolutely fine.
on StreamYard before because I actually have it on my Canva, so it's not allowing me to pull it out here. Um, oh no, can you still hear me?
I can definitely hear you.
Oh, okay. That's it says the server cannot process the request because it is malformed. It should not be retired. That's all we know. Google, how could you?
Oh,
Um, yes, the content is blocked. Content the site owner. So
well, if you can see it on your screen and just kind of go through it for our audience, that is perfectly fine as well if it's not allowing you to share.
oh man, I'm sad because it's a beautiful presentation. But yes, well, yeah, like, we can just continue and as having a conversation. But um one of the things that I was touching on is that we see something like the crypto punks and the bored apes, and they're selling for millions of dollars, and there are these big collections with the 10,000 pfps. And the reason that they're able to generate so many variations is because they're switching out these traits, the hat or the background. And so we see that it's very easy to create this visual variance. But how do we do that with music NFTs, right? Am I going to sit down and create 10,000 songs? Well, that's my life's work. And so there's been artists experimenting on different levels, like Mike Shinoda, he did like a release of 5,000 mini mixtapes, so kind of taking current music and breaking it down. Ghostface Killer, he made NFT news with dropping his unreleased lyrics as an NFT, and now we're even seeing some of the major labels get involved, like Universal Music. They formed a band of Bored Apes called
Mhm.
Kingship. So
Yes.
there's, the idea of rapping as your NFT is one way that artists have been bridging the gap. And the first artist that actually did that, his name is Spotty Wi-Fi. So
Mm.
he owns a CryptoPunk number 5528 to be exact. And he made headlines back in September of last year with Complex magazine covering him. And they said, meet Spotty Wi-Fi, the CryptoPunk rapper who made $192,000 in 60 seconds. And what he realized was this CryptoPunk community is super engaged. And it seems that if you just have a CryptoPunk, that people are engaging with you. So he's like, how do I leverage that? So he got this CryptoPunk that was like, I guess, seen as less desirable because it had spots on its face. So they're like, is that acne, whatever? Is that like, it was ugly to other people. And he turned that into his persona. He's like, oh, that's Spotty Wi-Fi. So he came up with this persona and he started rapping as this NFT, creating his first collection, I'm Spotty. And the way that he was able to crack this code of variance with music is by taking the stems of the song and switching them out. So he took the drums, the sounds, and the bass, and he switched them out for either rap, 8-bit, or orchestral sounds. And in doing that, he was able to create 27 variations of that song. And so there's kind of three, what I call like purebred versions that are just like the rap version, the orchestral version, the 8-bit. But then there's all these 24 other mashups. And he would make some more rare than others to kind of go along with that scarcity model that we see with PFPs to drive that value with the variation, and even some one of ones. So you'd feel really lucky if you got those in the collection. And furthermore, keeping true to that visual PFP nature of NFTs, he actually assigned a visual element to each one of those sounds to generate 27 different versions of the cover art. And so I just think that this model is genius, and that's what I'm building. Crypto Girl is an extension of this model. So I've got to meet Spotty. I actually just saw him speak on the panel yesterday on like the impact of hip hop and NFTs. And excuse me, the way that my project varies is it's taking that model of switching out the stems, but also incorporating remixes. So the first one, it's a collection of 5,555. The first 1,000 are going to be purely just the main original song, and then the next 1,000 is a set of remixes, the next 1,000 a set of remixes, and so on. And so that's what I'm trying to do here in bridging the Web 2 and Web 3 music industry. When I go around and I'm talking to these producers like Divine Evans, and at his studio, he's got his plaques up there for Rihanna. His wife has been dancing background, dancing for Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl. We got that next to the platinum plaques and everything, all his Grammy awards. And I'm sitting here talking to him about this genius idea. And he's like, hold on, back up. What's blockchain? And so, you see this person that has like these amazing connections and accolades that's been hearing about it. But, he's like, I know that there's money in it, but I don't understand how to get involved. I don't know how I would mobilize my fan base. And also, I don't want it to come off as a money grab, because that's
Yeah.
what a lot of, mainstream artists have been getting kind of criticism from their fan base, either their fan base citing environmental concerns or
Mm.
citing, oh, why are you doing this? Or you just, trying to make some money off of us and not really understanding the value. So
Right.
that's one of the things that I've been seeing a lot. And so what my project is seeking to solve that problem is creating the infrastructure, the smart contract, the marketing, like the thought out plan, the assets, the providing the team that's able to do Web3 consulting or walk him through the process, because I'm just one person. So connecting him kind of with my Web3 network, so that
Mhm.
all he has to do now is just show up and be the producer, be the artist. And when, there's no risk to him, he doesn't have to put any money down, and he gets to make money. But more importantly, he will have the infrastructure set up for when he's ready to do his own Web3 NFT drop.
I'm like so happy to hear that because you mentioned a lot of the, backlash that some artists have gotten and or artists that have kind of gotten themselves into situations with teams who really don't necessarily understand the NFT space themselves, but did see the opportunity for a money grab and really didn't lead the artist in the right direction. Doja Cat comes to mind, is one of those people that I think just got off on the wrong foot with a team that really didn't have her best interest at heart. So I'm happy to hear that you're out there providing this extremely needed service, and especially with artists of color and women artists coming in who may not really, who don't know, because like you said, it's usually technical, or a lot of people see it as that. So they really do need that clear guidance with integrity, and from people who actually know the space and are not just, looking. Obviously, we all want to get paid. Nothing wrong with that. I don't shade nobody's bags, but you
No,
definitely want
I
to
hear
do it right.
you. It's funny because I think it was back in April of last year, a story came out saying that Doja Cat was not only going to get into NFTs, but she was going to launch her first NFT, her own entire marketplace called Juicy Drop. So I was pretty
Hmm.
excited, like, okay, sis, like I see you doing big things out here. And then I went to the website and it's like broken links. And then I was
Yeah.
following up on the story and I didn't see anything and I didn't hear
Hmm.
anything. And then not that much longer later, I saw that she was doing a drop on Quincy Jones's platform, one of,
Hmm.
where I did purchase one of her NFTs. I like that they had a lot of different tiers of accessibility.
Yeah.
So you could buy one in at $5 or up to like $500. So and I remember she said in a press release around that release, like, I don't know a lot about NFTs. I just know that mine won't hurt the environment. And I was like, oh, I
Girl.
my hypothesis was that she kind of got a bunch of backlash from her fans that she wasn't expecting, because that
Hmm.
I was seeing that a lot. I was seeing that on like Rico Nasty. Anytime I'd go to like their Instagram page and read through these comments, and it'd be
Hmm.
like, "No, Queen, don't do that. You're killing our
Yeah.
trees," and things like that. And of course, that's because Ethereum still being a proof of work. That's like where that's concerned. So, but people now hear NFTs and then they just think everything is bad for the environment, not really realizing the different consensus mechanisms. And like how I
Correct.
was mentioning earlier, like technology doesn't move backwards, it's only going to move forward. So it means that people are rushing to find a solution to make this mainstream adaptability. And you're not going to see any proof of work, like consensus blockchain
Hmm.
mechanisms using on blockchains. It's all, everything coming out now is proof of stake because that's what makes sense. So I think that, it will be an issue that's solved, but there's a lot of corporate interests in the major financial institutions that don't want blockchain to succeed because it's a direct
Mm.
threat to everything that they've built. Um,
Exactly.
and they're
I would expect that that would include some folks in the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, then you see everybody like hopping on. You seen, yesterday I read a story that Visa is now creating kind of an artist accelerator program to help provide mentorship and guidance for artists wanting to be in the NFT space and these big corporations. And I think that labels may feel a threat, but also are going to be forced to adapt, just the way they were forced to adapt with streaming.
Mm.
And so they're just going to serve a different purpose. But yeah, I think that the technology is just funny that you bring up Doja Cat. But actually, have you heard of Doja Code?
No.
So Doja Cat, she partnered with Girls Who Code to create the world's first programmable music video for her song Woman. So if you go to dojacode.com right now, and you get entered into this portal, and you can select which coding language, HTML, CSS, that you want to learn how to code in, and then it plays the music video, and then it'll stop in certain parts. So there's kind of like the skit with her and Tiana Taylor at the beginning of the video, and then Tiana's like the queen that's getting her nails done, and then it'll pause at the frame of her nail, and it'll bring up this code that you can then type a color and it'll change her nails. And so you're like
Awesome.
coding this music video. And so I thought that was so cool because it makes coding accessible to young girls. It's built by young women with the girls who code. And so I was so inspired by that I was like, I'm going to do a similar initiative partnering with the Bay Area based Black Girls Code as part of the Crypto Girl Project to do similar things. So that's just kind of another example of ways that, even though that's not necessarily blockchain, it's showing the ways that music and technology are merging to create these new experiences that are, both entertaining but educational, and making the technology more accessible, particularly for young women. And that's a really exciting thing.
It definitely is, and that is so creative and ingenious. You mentioned OpenSea,
Yes, ma'am.
as some people like to call it Broken Sea.
I ain't even heard that yet. How did I not?
You heard it
That's a
here.
good one.
Yeah, so I know that you, as part of what you're doing, you want to create, or is it part of your plan to create a platform that will hopefully be a lot less decentralized than what OpenSea is right now?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's the big goal, and it's a big undertaking to compete with somebody like OpenSea, but I think that it's also okay for artists to be their own marketplaces as well now, because the direct to consumer model can really work. My friend Ace, he was able to debut on the Apple Music charts, as well as the Billboard Top 50 for hip hop charts on his release as an independent artist. And he went on Brandman's show to talk about what that was like. And it was a direct to consumer strategy. Now, this is before NFTs and everything were coming about. It was just like him running an aggressive pre-sale, pre-purchase campaign for his album and documenting those sales and going ham, going hard. So it's like, now if he applies that same mentality to doing an NFT collection, he's going to be winning, because it's like the same thing where, artists, they put so much time into music and put it on Spotify, nobody's hearing it. You got to have that
Yeah.
marketing and that direct relationship. So I think that we will start seeing artists that like Spotty. You go to spottywifi.com, you connect your MetaMask, and you mint directly from his site. And I think that that's a great way to go about it.
Awesome, awesome. There's so much we can talk about, and we're definitely going to have you back after our next two guests to continue to talk more about the Crypto Girl project and everything that you're bringing to the blockchain. I have really, really enjoyed this interview, Kayla, and love what you had to share. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You guys, again, this is powerful. Everything that Kayla shared with us just goes right back to what we have said here many times, that ownership is power, and blockchain can give you ownership. And I have the extreme pleasure of bringing to the stage our next guest. Her name is very familiar to many of you, and it's Cleve Messidor. She's the author of The Clevolution. I love that title. Her quest for justice and politics and crypto. She's the head of National Policy Network, Women of Color Blockchain, and a public policy advisor at Blockchain Association. And also, last but not least, a former Obama appointee and a CNN alum. So welcome. Did I pronounce your first name right? Is it Cleve or Cleve?
It's Clev, like clever, but no R.
Clever. I can remember that. Thank you so much for gracing our stage with everything that I just just said. I'm so honored to be able to have you and to talk to you about what is going to be a very eventful date in April that we all, as people of color, should know about. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled to be with you. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, April 4th is really an extension of the conversation you just had with Kayla, right?
Mhm.
About how Black people should look at crypto, people of color should look at crypto as an opportunity for ownership, to be producers, not just to be consumers. So I lead the National Policy Network of Women of Color in Blockchain, but I'm also an advisor to the Blockchain Association. And recently we launched an industry-wide movement called the Blockchain Foundation that will work with industry partners to actually focus on education, going into cities and partnering with public institutions and public leaders. Now, April 4th is the result of 3 studies last fall. Last September or October, there were 3 studies that showed Black and Latino communities lead national adoption by double digits. Let that sink in. That means there would be no industry without Black or Latino consumers. Yet, we are still hidden figures in this space. We're in the blind spots of Washington, of the industry, of media. And that is how you become consumers, right? That is how it's
Yes.
ensured that you never become owners, right? Because everyone's like, oh, that's great. They could buy all of our products. So April 4th is an opportunity to do a rally, an open call to come to Washington and be seen, right? It's not a lobby day where we're going to lobby for specific legislation. It's really an opportunity to say, all of y'all out there who don't believe the numbers, who think that, oh, they're not engaged. No, 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 no. The problem is the conferences you do, they're not representative of the true industry, right? The hearings we see in Washington when it comes to blockchain don't really represent who is actually growing and building this space. So April 4th is an open call for anyone in crypto, anyone in the country to come. We're going to be on the west front of the US Capitol from 12 to 5. We'll have leaders from all various organizations, like Latinx organizations, Black organizations, come and speak. So it's really about empowerment, and it's really forcing people to say, we're here. I've just put out an open call to Black and Latino leaders. NBC has reached out and wants to cover it. Members of Congress are reaching out and saying they want to speak. So I think there's an enthusiasm to say, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. But people want to actually connect with us. They want to see us, and they want to know how to find us. So April 4th will be that continuation of making sure that we're putting a spotlight across the board on leaders who are doing this space. Decentralization means that they don't have to call Clev in Washington, right? They can call those people in Detroit, those people in Oakland, those people in El Paso, those people in the Bronx. And that's what we want, right? We don't want to have that one leader, maybe two, right? We want leaders across the board who are actually driving equity in their communities, creating owners, making sure we're producers, and actually having a true financial revolution that empowers those who have been locked out.
Yes, Cleb, you said it. There's always this attempt, whether it is conscious or unconscious, to make us monolithic.
Yes.
And to, as you say, create us as a consumer class only. And blockchain is, if no one can see it, and I hope that you all can, if you've been watching this this live stream all month, you understand the ownership possibility here and the potential to create this generational wealth that we all as people of color have dreamed of, but for some of us seem so far out of reach. April 4th, I did get a chance to see that news cast that you did with some other folks who were into crypto and had talked about how it changed their lives. Why is it so important, again, for people of color to be involved in blockchain, crypto, NFTs, and everything Web3?
Yeah. And I'm hoping that April 4th will be an opportunity to not just see us, to understand the spectrum of people who have been locked out of the financial system. Because when people hear that Black and Latino communities are leading adoption, they think of the unbanked, right? They think of just, these people who don't have bank accounts, who don't have access. Oh, they think, oh, they're being scammed. Oh my God. No, the people who have been locked out are the unbanked. Yes. But it's also professionals like you and I, who have advanced degrees, who make good money, but wealth managers never wanted to talk to us. Right? We were close. Our contemporaries who have the same profile as us are getting access to bank products and financial instruments to build wealth, and we're not. There was just a study that showed that Wells Fargo denied 90% of the Black applicants to refinance their home. Those are professionals. So wow. 90%. So it's professionals being locked out. Going a little further, It's our small businesses. It's our public institutions. I use the example that Black churches deposit money into banks every year. Some $250,000, some
Mm,
$1 million.
mm,
Those same Black churches cannot get a loan from those very banks. How is that possible? So the
yes.
system has been lacking out Black people across the spectrum. It doesn't matter if you build wealth or if you become wealthy, you are still being redlined, not just in
Yes.
housing. So,
Yes.
so that's why we've seen adoption globally and in the US by people who have been locked out, by working class people, by middle class people, by professionals, by industry leaders, by executives.
And they use the language that they use, this code language, accredited investors.
Oh,
And
yes.
you automatically know exactly what that means. And it doesn't mean people that look like you and me.
Yeah.
Empowerment is so very, very key here if we are going to continue and not get left behind. And we see the opportunity that Web3 is going to bring us. The blockchain, again, I always say, is a solution looking for problems, and there's plenty of them that it can definitely solve. And one of them certainly is giving us the keys to the proverbial kingdom for a change. What are your comments or thoughts on these legislators who always want to step forward to protect, the Black consumer? And they don't seem to be doing a very good job of it. But when it comes to now, we have this opportunity. You want to protect us right out of making money.
Exactly. I liken consumer protectionism to patriarchy. You just mentioned, right, accredited investor. That's not a norm. That is inequity sanctioned by the federal government, because
Mm,
the SEC has the accredited investor rule. The
yeah,
SEC says you have to have this pedigree to actually access high wealth building products, right? And what is that pedigree, right? It's all of these things that professionals, even our executives, won't qualify for, right? So, but that's our government, right? That's our
exactly.
government setting up. So I talk about inclusive policy making, and we have to hold our government accountable for just what you said. We have to stop this conversation about consumer protections. Every consumer deserves to be protected, but when they
Yeah.
say that, they don't mean that. They just mean us. It's code
Yeah.
for, like you
Right.
said, it's code for Black people, but it's also code for, oh, let's ban it or let's stop it.
Yeah.
Who does that hurt? It's only us. These companies, they actually build into their budgets attorneys to actually offset that. So what these policies coming out of Washington only hurt us. We have to change the narrative from consumer
Yes.
protection to consumer empowerment. How is that different? Consumer empowerment from the federal government means that you don't focus on, oh my God, these poor Black people, they're gonna get hurt. No, you actually fund financial literacy. You actually fund skills training. You actually create more access to capital for entrepreneurs. But you have to go further. You have to make sure those funds go to Black and Latino people who are doing the work bootstrapping with no resources. Look at the PPP loan, right?
Oh
They
yeah.
sold us a bill of goods, right? Oh, it was going to help empower minority businesses, e-commerce businesses,
Mm,
independent contractors. The funds went to hedge funds. The funds
yeah.
went to all of these wealthy players.
Mm,
Why? Because they told us some stuff,
mm-hmm,
but they didn't
mm-hmm.
change the system, the rigged system that is set up against us. So the system continued while we heard everything, and they're telling us next time we'll do better. No, we have to tear down the system, break it down, hold them accountable, and the devil's in the details. Yes, that funding in the infrastructure law that's going to be implemented, it cannot continue to go to the usual suspects, because the usual suspects, for whatever reason I don't know, don't get into our communities, don't do the work
Mm,
in our communities. We end up doing it. The reason 27% of Black people have adopted blockchain cryptocurrency by double digits to other communities is because of the work that Black and Latino innovators did over the last 8-10 years with no money, bootstrapping.
yes.
it wasn't
Yes.
it wasn't the industry marketing to us. They have not used their money to market to us, right? They've used it to market to wealthy players who are just like, not yet, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor comes to mind.
Oh my goodness, yes.
For
So
sure.
just as we see these large blockchain conferences that are not diverse, as there's not enough black speakers, look at Washington when they have their blockchain hearings, when they have their blockchain, people testifying. They don't look like
Yeah.
us either.
We are
So
not at the table.
we have to change that dynamic, because we have to demand it. We have to do whatever it takes to say this industry is ours. We created it. We made it something. So therefore, you cannot afford to be sitting here like, we have to protect these poor black people who just don't understand what they're doing. They're gonna lose their homes. While you never protected us from financial exclusion.
How about passing anti-lynching laws? How about the Voting Rights Act? You can't do
Girl.
that. But you can protect us right out of wealth creation.
Yeah, you're gonna celebrate the Emmett Till law. It should have been a celebration. It's a stain on our democracy that it took so long to happen. It's a
Over
stain on
100 years.
the democracy that it didn't
Yes.
happen a long time ago.
Yes. I love what you had to say, because we know that traditionally there have been literally, at least in this country, 3 paths to wealth. That was either you had real estate if you weren't born with money, you had real estate, you had stocks and bonds, or you had entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And again, we can just look at history and see whenever we did start to prosper in an area, they changed the rules. As soon as we learned the rules, started playing the game and winning, they changed the rules.
Exactly. Yep.
So this makes April 4th, if you're listening and you live in the DC area, even if you don't, get on a plane, train, bus, automobile, come on down for April the 4th. It is just that important, because we can no longer, be passive. We have to be actively protecting ourselves from them. Because protections for them just means control. That's what it means.
Exactly. Yes.
I really, really am loving this conversation so very much. I can think of a couple of representatives that I love to hear speak. Richie Torres.
We've invited him.
I hope to see him. Love him.
Yes.
Big fan. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum is, of course, the infamous Elizabeth Warren. Is there any chance of educating folks like that who it's so surprising, because on the surface she seemed to have been very progressive and leaning into areas that you would think would be supportive of something that could help lift so many people out of poverty, and especially people of color. What happened there? Is there any chance of resetting or educating her? She seems to double down on everything, every kind of misinformation.
Yeah. So I'm an advisor to the Blockchain Association, which is the lobbying arm in Washington for the crypto industry that represents 85 member companies. Yes. So Elizabeth Warren is a unique case. Let's be clear. Most Democrats have been cool to crypto. We have some champions, like you mentioned, Richie Torres, Darren Soto, Congresswoman Alma Adams, Stacey Plaskett. We're getting some warm feelings from CBC chair, Joyce Beatty. But we have a lot of work to do with Democrats overall, right? Because their bent has always been illicit use of crypto, consumer protection. So we have to shift them towards the empowerment. But I would say Senator Warren and her obsession with climate and the energy impact of crypto, I think this is just to be clear, the industry has spent a lot of time trying to educate her office, and the Blockchain Association has met with her. So we continue to do that engagement. So the engagement is happening. But I do think for her, and this is not meant to be disrespectful of any senator or member of Congress, but for her, there's some members who want to stay relevant, right? And oftentimes, you don't stay relevant by being supportive. You stay relevant with friction, right? With being a contrarian. So for her, I think environmentalists across the country are thinking the biggest threat to our environment is not crypto mining, right? Go fix some of the other stuff.
Exactly.
But I do think that there are, some members of Congress who like to inject themselves into controversial issues and park themselves there, right? It's a great way to be relevant, to stay relevant, and to be part of the narrative. So, I'm not concerned. I do think that, she definitely has, evolved as somebody who is, you know, who stands to be better informed, who needs to be armed with better information. It's an important issue, but
It is.
the crypto industry is responding, right? The Bitcoin miners are responding. There's incentives for using alternative renewable options, right? When you look at the Texas infrastructure that's being built, it's really on looking at alternatives. Let's be clear. People who mine Bitcoin don't care how they mine it, on what type of energy. It's about the Bitcoin. So the industry is responding. It's an issue that we should definitely care about because climate change impacts Black people and women
Oh,
more than
sure.
any other groups, right? But
Absolutely.
we know what's killing our communities. It's not
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin mining, right?
No.
It's all of the oil rigs, right? It's all of the stuff that they don't want to address, right? It's all of the problems that they said, we're going to leave that here and come back to the newest thing. Come on now.
Uh, Girl, a country that can't even get to, just really got to accepting electric cars and refused to really move into, a green space as revolves around oil and gas.
Yeah,
It's actual hypocrisy at its highest levels. And like you
exactly.
said, we see it in our communities every day where things get built and put that are certainly toxic and detrimental to the
Yes,
community, and nobody says anything or blinks an eye, but they don't want it in their neighborhoods. But you
exactly.
want to say this is what you want to focus on. And I think I saw a chart pretty recently that said, actual Bitcoin mining probably uses less energy than somebody turning on their dryers. So it is a huge misinformation
Yeah,
campaign that certainly benefits some of them for the reasons that we all know.
yeah.
And that's why this march on April 4th is so very, very important. How can people get information about how to get involved in that?
Yes, yes. So again, it's decentralized, so their various groups have information. But you can on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at CMezzi, where I'm posting a lot of the information. Naja Roberts has with Crypto Unplugged has been posting the information as well. But definitely follow me on Twitter on at CMezzi, where I'm disseminating that information. But again, it's Monday, April 4th from noon to 5 p.m. on the west lawn of the Capitol.
And wrapping up for my last questions, what can we do? Because as many Black people and Latino people are involved with blockchain and crypto, how can we onboard even more? What's the solution there to breaking past this misinformation campaign, some of which Kayla talked about, people throwing at basically parroting, oh, don't
Yeah,
do NFTs because they're bad for the environment, or, I don't know about that crypto thing. It
exactly.
sounds like it's a scam, a trend, a bubble, a Ponzi scheme, all the stuff that we've heard.
Yeah.
And Black people tend to be somewhat conservative when about things like that. How do we break through those kinds of barriers?
Well, I think we have to fight for more resources for our leaders to do that important work, right? Fight for resources for financial literacy centers in our communities, right? Fight for resources for minority banks because they don't function like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, right? Fight
Mm,
for resources for the libraries in our communities, but fight for resources for access to capital for Black entrepreneurs in crypto. We tend to be creating product services to actually affect equity, right? To tackle financial exclusion, and those are the fundings that should be applied. And we can't scale the efforts that we do unless we have the resources. And the federal government shares those resources for those things. A good example is the 7A loan program. We need to innovate that so that more of us have access to that. Because right now,
mm,
they make it so difficult. And
mm,
we know we're not going to get VC money. So I
mm-hmm.
do think at this point, one is the resources. We need more federal resources going directly to, people of color, innovators of color, entrepreneurs, startups. And then also, we also need to negotiate better our engagements with large companies, right? I, I love LeBron James, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone saw the commercial with crypto.com,
Yeah.
which is great. but we have to negotiate the terms of those engagements, because that's just making more money for crypto.com. That's just saying, all you black and brown people who love me, go to crypto.com.
Mm-hmm.
Our celebrities and athletes who are just getting into the game, who are, they have to, they can't, we can't afford to let them do business as usual, which is partner with these wealthy players, get them what they want, give me a high salary at the expense of our community. Those deals should be, in my opinion, it's a free market society. Do what you want. They should make sure, when they're negotiating with crypto.com and others, saying, also, how are you supporting entrepreneurs, right? How are you funding, the ecosystem, right, of black and because all of these companies, the great thing about crypto is, each company you see, they are funding entrepreneurs to actually build out their protocol, build out their products, right? And oftentimes it's not us getting those fundings and those grants, right? So fine, get paid, get money from crypto.com, but make sure crypto.com is also investing in the innovators, in the leaders that have been doing the work. And that we can do, that we should hold our celebrities and athletes accountable to do.
And blockchain is the perfect place to do that because of its transparency. And we do have the right to ask, what's your diversity look like? What is your team? Are there people on that team that look like me? How are you directly benefiting the audience that I'm most excited to reach? So, and you're right, we don't ask those questions, and it all goes back to exactly what you said: empowerment. You guys that have been listening, I know that you have enjoyed Clev as much as I have. She does have many, many busy things to do. I will be there April the 4th. And thank you again. You have been delightful. And follow her on Twitter, everybody. And we will see you the next time. I know that the next time we do this, you'll be here again.
Yes.
And see you on April 4th.
See you then. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
You guys, another really exciting interview. This is a wonderful, wonderful things I bet you didn't know Thursday, Table Talk Thursday. And we have up next Sandy, and I'm going to just introduce her with a bio that I have here. Sandy Carter is the Senior Vice President and Channel Chief at Unstoppable Domains, and we're all familiar with that here. In this role, she is responsible for driving new partnerships and integrations for Web 3.0 rather, blockchain, and NFTs. Her previous role was with Amazon Web Services, and she also founded Unstoppable Women of Web3. With that, welcome, Sandy. Uh-oh. Can we get her up on the stage? There she is. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing great. How about you?
I'm doing amazing because I'm here with you, and we just had the last two guests who were amazing also, and I'm just learning things that I didn't know. Sandy, tell us about your involvement with Unstoppable Domains and how that came to be.
Yeah, so I was working for Amazon Web Services, a great company, and I was just having a blast. And then I started hearing all this news about NFTs, about blockchain. And I had worked with the blockchain in Amazon, but I was just so curious about it. And so I got on, I didn't buy a Lazy Lion, which is an NFT, but I started listening in their Discord. And
I got one.
Oh, you do? I do now. I do now have one. But that's how I started. I started jumping in the Discord, and then I'm like, oh, I might want to buy one. So I set up a wallet. I bought an Unstoppable domain. So anyway, it was just pretty interesting to see what was going on and how it was happening and kind of moving forward. So that's really how I got engaged and involved in this space.
And I know that you have a presentation for us. And if you do have any trouble sharing, I think I see it. I'm going to let you go ahead and share that.
Okay. Whoops. It was there, and then it wasn't. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for the honor of being on with all these great women from the blockchain. I just think it's so amazing all the great work that everyone is doing in the space. So what I thought I would do is share a presentation that I just leveraged at our Women of Web3 event. I'm a big believer that Web3 is just starting. And because it's just starting, it really needs to have diverse voices in the conversation. And I'm talking all kinds of diversity, not just women and men, but racial diversity, cultural diversity, just any kind of different thought processes, because Web3 is going to be very diverse. So if you didn't hear, my name is Sandy Carter, and I am the SVP at Unstoppable Domains. I'm also known in the metaverse as Pink Mamba, because I always tend to wear pink. Today I'm wearing blue for some reason, but I always tend to wear pink. I do work for a startup called Unstoppable, and we are really proud that Forbes just named us one of America's best startup companies in the world. So we're real excited about that. But I know that's not what you're here to hear about. Let's go ahead and take a peek at some of the basic beliefs of Web3 as we move forward. So I know you guys are women of blockchain, so you guys know so many different things. But what I wanted to do is just kind of walk you through what I believe after doing research with over 400 different companies, both skeptics as well as CEOs of companies that have dedicated their life to this passion. What I believe are the essentials here. So you probably know this, but I think it's really important that if someone asks me, what's Web3? How is it different than Web2? I typically say one word. It's ownership. Ownership is the big difference. And if you think about it, the change in ownership between Web 2 and Web 3 is pretty dramatic. But let me not get ahead of myself. If I start with Web 1, we were in Web 1, we were gathering information, pulling information in. You remember some of the old, maybe you don't, but some of the old websites like Yahoo, which would just give you information. And then when Web 2 hit, we started seeing the endorsement of social media platforms. So we became creators. So not only were we gathering data, but we were pushing data out. But in that phase, something interesting happened, and all these companies started collecting data about us. And so they would sell that data, and that's how many of the big companies got built. Well, Web3 is different. You still are able to discover information and share information, except now when information is learned about you, you own the data. You are a member of the community. You are not you're not a user of the application. You are actually a member. So it's all about ownership. And let me just show you what that ownership really means. I often get asked about a single definition for Web3. So this is the one that I use now. I would love to hear yours as well. But for me, Web3 is an open movement. And this is where that inclusivity needs to come in. And what we do is we look at broadly decentralizing the internet. Decentralization is about no one company is in control. And that allows for individual ownership of the identity and your personal data. Two things that are really, obviously, extremely important to me. Now, that being said, when I told you I talked to over 400 different companies, it's important to note that there are a lot of skeptics out there, and they have some good points. So I do want to call out that we are very early in our journey. And so I like to say we're in the dial-up phase of Web3. Some of you may not even remember dial-up, but we used to have to get on a modem and dial into the internet, and it would take forever. That's the phase of Web3 we're in today. We have some challenges with the UX and ease of use, a great opportunity if you're an entrepreneur out there. And the technology is super expensive. So you are women of blockchain. So putting something on chain is more expensive than storing it in a relational database. These are some of the things that people are working. And I believe that we are going to get over all of these things, and Web3 will become the de facto standard. So as I told you early on, I was a member of the senior team at Amazon Web Services. And one of the things that Amazon loves to do is put together flywheels to talk about how a market will start moving and what will be the critical elements. So I did this design of a flywheel for what we're seeing today. We're seeing early adopters like yourselves jump in. And because they're early adopters, we're seeing people make money. Like you just heard Corey, she jumped in early on Lazy Lions. I didn't get in too early, but I got in early enough. So you're seeing people make money with Web3, with the metaverse, with NFTs. Because of that, there's a lot of energy. And now you have all these VCs and accelerators that are like wanting to pump money into it. In fact, I just went down to South by Southwest, which was cool, an in-person event. And when I was there, I got 62 invites from different VCs who were extremely interested in putting money in Web3 companies, which means as they do, that more applications will come up, more hopefully great user interface, more improvements on the blockchain, more scale on the chain. And what that will do, well, that will obviously drive more adopters, and that gets that flywheel moving, right? Now, more adopters will enter and the circle will keep going. Since I've joined into Web3, I've seen the speed of that flywheel increase pretty dramatically. So it is quite interesting, I think, to see what's going on in the marketplace today. Now, I am a very visual learner. And so for me to see something visually helps me see how everything fits together. So this picture is one Ray Wang, who runs Constellation, and I really love because it does visualize how these things all fit together. So I think the first thing you'll notice is on each side, there is this two-sided marketplace. There is a creator economy. You're seeing it today in music and fashion and NFT artists coming up. There's this creator economy. But of course, in order for them to be successful, there's got to be the other side of the market, which are these digital networks. They're multi-sided consumption networks that are growing as well. So in that two-sided marketplace, what you see in the center is that everything is based on the blockchain. So great that you guys are women of the blockchain, because everything is based and built. It is the backbone of Web3 as well as the metaverse. Building on top of the blockchain is Web3. So all of that decentralization, and in particular, that sovereign identity where you own the data. Next up, which I think is even more crucial, in fact, we were just talking, maybe we should make DAOs the center of the universe, or these distributed autonomous organizations. These DAOs are now, increasing to get that decentralization, that autonomy of Web3. Built on top of those are the metaverses that we're seeing pop up everywhere. And then, of course, that I think missing piece pretty much today, which is that user interface. So for me, as a visual learner, this helps me to see how everything fits together and to know when someone's talking about the metaverse, it has to be built on the blockchain. When they're talking about Web3, it's built on the chain. If they're talking about a DAO, it's built on the blockchain. So the essential element in this two-sided marketplace is the blockchain. So as we think about that, one of the questions I often get asked, which are, in order to make this ownership model work, remember I said one word for Web3 is ownership. In order to make this ownership concept work, you really need a set of elements. And I did all this research and discovered that there are 5 of those elements that I think are important. Decentralization, digital identity, built on the blockchain, community, and financial freedom. So I'm just going to quickly run you through those today, and then hopefully we'll have time for a few questions at the end. So decentralization is crucial to Web3. It means that there is no one company that's controlling everything. Everything is decentralized. So if you think about centralization today, you can think about a company that really controls a lot of things. So even the clouds out there, Azure, AWS, Google, when something goes down, when the cloud goes down, it impacts everybody because everything is centralized. But in decentralization, you should have more scalable technology. You don't have one person controlling a contract like we saw with the Apple versus Epic, where Epic wanted to share what they have with their games, but Apple controlled the mechanism, the marketplace to distribute it. So decentralization in this Web3 world is very essential. In fact, many called Web3, not Web3, but the decentralized web for a long time. Web3 kind of stuck, but it was originally called the decentralized web. Now, again, I told you I spoke to skeptics as well, and they will tell you, but hey, today You guys are built on Web 2 technology. Yes, yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? So even my company, Unstoppable Domains, is built on the Google Cloud. Coinbase is built on Amazon Cloud. But we are early. Remember, I told you we're in that dial-up phase. And I love what our CEO likes to say, which is we're building on top of the work of prior technologies. And for the stage we're in right now, that's okay. So let's go on to that second really critical area. So besides decentralization, there's digital identity. And of course, this is the area I'm most interested in, hence why I joined Unstoppable Domains. So why is this so exciting to me? Well, a digital identity is one that travels with you. If you think about Web 1 and Web 2, you're signing into an application. You are a user of it. So you sign into Google, you sign into Facebook. So I have, for instance, 85,000 followers on Twitter. When I now sign into a new platform, let's take Discord, those 85,000 followers don't come with me. I have no clout at all because I'm starting all over again. So now imagine a world that Web3 is creating where you take that information about you with you. You sign in once with a wallet or your domain. And as you sign in, you now get access to the metaverse, to games, to DeFi, decentralized finance application. You have access to all of that. All of your clout comes with you. All of your information comes with you. Today, I have 282 passwords. So I treasure a world where I would just have a password to log in to everything. There's also the ability to eliminate reshowing your government ID. So this is just an example from my company called Humanity Check, where you can enter your verification one time, and then you prove that you are a human, if you would. You are who you say you are. That is also really exciting to me. So where I don't have to always carry around my driver's license and my government ID to prove I am who I say I am. And there are endless possibilities here. I mean, you can dream with me. Imagine healthcare information. I just moved and I just can't believe it. I call for my hospital records, my doctor's records, my dentist records. Many times they'll tell me, we can't give that data to you. We can only give it to another medical professional. Well, it's my data, like it's data about me. Why can't I get access to it? What if that was included in your digital identity? Or even education data. I was just with ASU, Arizona State University, yesterday. They're building digital identity for your credentials, your diplomas, your certifications. Imagine not having to go and search for your transcript or prove you graduated from a particular college, but that was all attached to who you were. I'm really excited about this digital identity that travels with you. I think it's so powerful and opens up so many doors. Just another reason I'm super excited about Web3. And this is that example of that wallet structure, if you would, that ASU is building. And I find this really fascinating, right? I was with my daughter and she was taking a class in computer animation. She's in high school. And in order for me to get that community college transcript, I had to fax. Yes, some people still fax, I guess. I had to fax the request in. I had to snail mail stuff in to prove I was who I said I was, only to get a transcript for my daughter. It was so incredibly painful. So having something like this is pretty magical in my mind. So we talked about decentralization and that digital identity. The third component, which I know you guys are going to be most excited about, is the blockchain. The blockchain is the backbone of Web3 and the metaverse as well. And the reason it's so powerful is it's literally a chain of blocks that fit together. In fact, I like to think about it as storage units, where information is stored in each of those blocks. Now, I know you guys know this well, but typically when I'm teaching a Web3 class for the first time, I'll go through that the blockchain is also decentralized. So it's a technology that supports the overall mission of Web3 because it is the backbone of it. And I love going through pictures. And again, I'm a visual learner of showing how information is collected today. Each of these companies has their own little stash of information of their own blocks of information, if you would. But in the Web3 world, the picture wouldn't look like this. It would look like this, where that information is decentralized and it's stored on chain. And therefore, it's public if you want it to be public. And it is also shareable. So when I logged into one of these social apps, ideally in a Web3 world, I could log into any app. I could retain my status or my level in any of those apps or my preferences, right? Let's say that I'm going from Netflix to Amazon Prime, knowing that I love murder mysteries, for example, would be saved and passed along. I wouldn't have to recreate that each and every time. So I love the blockchain because it is very transparent. It does provide that backbone for that user identity. It does enable interoperability between applications. We still need standards, though. It is immutable. So, we used to tell our kids, be careful what you posted on Facebook. That picture could be used by an interviewer. Now we need to say, be careful what you put on the chain, because that does not change. In fact, I've seen people in DAOs voting on projects and people saying, oh, you've switched your position. And I'm going, no, but every vote is recorded on the chain. And so it's visible and evident to everyone. And of course, the chain is also programmable. So I'm a huge fan of a blockchain. Okay, so now we've gone through decentralization, digital identity, and the blockchain. The fourth element that I think is essential for Web3 is community. It is part of the reason that I bought a Lazy Lion NFT, not just to have a cool picture, a collectible, but also to join the community, what they stand for, giving back to nature preserves in Africa, the discussions, the parties that occur that I can only get into with a cool Lazy Lion, if you would. So this community is really important, and it's a big differentiation in the mindset, the governance, and the culture of Web3. You are a member. You have rights. You get to make decisions on behalf of everybody else. You're not a user of the application. You're a member of what's going on. And I love that, because now when I jump into Discord, which I know many of you are in Discord right now, you can see you're contributing ideas, you're answering questions. It's not just the company or the group, it's you. You are also part of the group. You are a member. It's one of the things I loved about this group in particular. Many times I go to teach and they're like, we're a Web3 group, but they don't jump on Discord. You guys are all into Discord. And in fact, you guys even discovered I have 2 Discord IDs, which I thought was really super cool. There's also DAOs, and I believe that DAOs are going to increase in visibility. They're going to increase in the value that they bring. And that's why in that picture, I said I would love to kind of recreate that picture and put DAOs like as the heart of that whole picture. DAO is just a community. It enables one person, one vote, one token, one vote, one company, one vote. It really is the center stone of many things that we are thinking about, talking about today, and it embodies all of the Web3 principles or essentials. Now, I have to talk about the Lazy Lion, so I'm sure Corey's over there doing a happy dance as well. The philosophy of the lions, of the Lazy Lions, is that the community is the project and the project is the community. So no longer does someone hand you a roadmap. The roadmap is created by the community. So if you jumped into the Discord with the Lazy Lions, you would see over 150,000 members. We call ourselves kings and queens of the community. And that community is so important. It is a secret sauce in Lazy Lions becoming a top collection, for instance. And I think if you go further and you think about the roadmap, now this is the roadmap for the Lazy Lions, that community. The community built this roadmap. I love this roadmap because I'm used to seeing tech roadmaps, having worked for IBM, Microsoft, and Amazon. I love seeing roadmaps like this that are so creative. You can see a partnership here with Coinbase up at the top of the bungalow. You can see the bungalow, something new they're doing, and milk coming down for the Cubs that they're getting ready to launch. And even a question mark by the basketball, like who are they going to partner with in the NBA realm or the NCAA Final Four. It's a very creative way and something that was built by the community and for the community. Very different than a Web 2 space where someone gives you a roadmap, which is great, a precious treasure, versus creating a roadmap with you as a member of that community. So the final area is this financial reward area. And I really like this too, because, if you think about what's happened in the past, financial rewards went to companies, not to individuals. So let's think about Uber. In San Francisco, I was one of the early Uber users. And in fact, I was telling all my friends, you've got to go with Uber. Uber is incredible. It helps you get around cities so much easier and so much faster. I even told people who weren't in San Francisco, Uber's coming to your city. So in fact, I was acting like a member, right? I was attracting users. I was helping to spread the word. Now, while I did get a lot of thank yous from my friends, when it came to extract value, financial value from that equation, Uber ended up with a $50 billion valuation. And for us, as individuals, we did not get that either. So ownership, again, that big thing, right? Here, ownership was by Uber, and Web3 ownership would be for you, a person. So if we think about some of this, today what we're doing is we're really cutting out that middle person. And like here, if I was transferring information to each person, let me go back here. A retailer would say, hey, I want to sell Sandy something, and I'll pay you for data about Sandy that she created. But in the Web3 world, what would happen is that I would share information that I was a new homeowner, or that I wear a size 7 shoe, or that I had done something. And then the company would pay me for that information. So maybe if I was a new homeowner from Wayfair, I would get a $1,500 coupon for that. Versus in Web 2, maybe every email gets $100 off because I don't know if you're a new homeowner. But in a Web 2 world, I could go and enter all kinds of email addresses. So then the company also gets scammed. Most retailers count on 20 to 40% of fraud when they issue a coupon. So I love this difference in what we're seeing in financial rewards as well. So if you think about that, the financial rewards that exist like in Decentraland or Sandbox are pretty powerful, both for companies as well as for individuals. And there are so many different ways that you can use this. So think about the fashion show that was just done in the metaverse. I went in and had a fabulous time watching the avatars walk down the runway. But in addition, I bought a pair of virtual earrings. I don't know why I just did that because they're virtual. But those virtual earrings will now give me the opportunity to buy that same earring in real life as well. So my bottom line, my conclusion is that, this stuff is real. So many skeptics are like, it's not ready, it's not here. Well, everything is not ready at the very beginning. For me, as I did my research, no matter what you call it, blockchain, crypto, NFT, DeFi, Web3, metaverse, it is real. It is here today. I believe it's going to completely disrupt your company. It's going to disrupt markets out there, entire markets. I think it's already starting to do that. Look at celebrities signaling that they know what's going on because they have an NFT or because they've bought a domain. And this last one is thanks to my daughter. My daughter saw me creating this presentation. I said, it's creating a lot of opportunities. And she goes, no, Mom, I'm listening to you. It's creating a gazillion opportunities. So compliments of my daughter, Web3 is creating a gazillion opportunities out there. Thank you so much for your time. And I would love to take questions if that is available to us.
Hey, and great share, Sandy. I love that. Was that your lazy lion in the first slide there?
It was. I now have 2 of them, actually. Yes. Yes.
I flipped one, but I have my forever lion, and it's a lazy hat lion. And
Oh, you got a lazy hat.
I got a lazy hat. Yeah, and I
And
got
don't
the physical lazy hat for having the lazy hat lion too.
Yeah, I got a t-shirt and a hoodie. It's so fascinating how the real world is linking to the the virtual world, and how those two things are really coming together today. I think that's really, really powerful. Now, did you also join Lazy Lions because of the community?
I did. I was actually a member from Mint.
Oh,
The community,
wow.
was just forming then, and it grew into something very astronomical. And again, that's totally Web3 right there. And there's so many connections that people have made. They literally have space in the Discord for every kind of lion that you can possibly own. People have gotten jobs, all kinds of networking opportunities just by having been a part of the Lazy Lion community, and it is still growing. And yeah, I absolutely love that you have one, and hashtag roar.
Yeah, hashtag roar. That's right. Well, I have to tell you this. One of the things I love too is I started this group called Women of Web3, Unstoppable Women of Web3. And I was just very passionate that as I joined this new Web3 world, metaverse world, blockchain world, Corey, I didn't see many people like myself. And then I went to one of the conferences, and I felt like I was back like a bunch of frat parties. And
Yeah,
so I feel so strongly that if we're going to form the next generation of the internet, we need more diverse voices to speak up and to, really help drive the creation of it. We're in the early phases, so now's the right time to really jump in my opinion.
you're absolutely right. And we do have a question from the audience for you.
Okay,
And it
great.
says there, and thanks, Mariette Lynn 99. For those new to the space, what is the best way to find projects that you can be a part of that have great communities? It can be a bit overwhelming. She's right there with the abundance of options and opportunities.
Yeah, it's a great question. So actually, this will be something that we will start doing on our Women of Web3 website, which will be to ensure that we have a list of projects, and projects vary by what you're passionate about. So, for example, let's say you're passionate about the '90s. There's a project called '90s Babes. Because it's community oriented, you really need to find your tribe, like what really works for you if you're going to join in one of those communities. And you are right, there are so many, and there is no guidebook out there today. So it's something that we have to create and we have to share. And that's why I love your group too, here with Women of Blockchain. This would be a great discussion topic to say, where did you feel included? Why did you join Lazy? Like both of us joined Lazy Lions for a reason, right? Now we're both queens, which I
Oh,
love.
yeah.
We're queens of the Lazy Lions. And it brings something in. But I'm also part of Fame Ladies. I'm also part of Nyla's collection. I don't know if you guys know about her.
Long necky ladies, of
Long
course.
Necky Ladies, yes. And
Yes.
she's only 13.
Yes.
13, and she's Times artist in residence, the first time they've ever done that. So you've got to find what you're passionate about. There's a group called the Boys Club, which is actually all women, and they are investors in Web3. And so I belong to that group as well because I want to invest and I want to have that financial freedom that comes with this as well. So it's a great question. I'll take that on too and see if I can start doing some list of different places that women can go to join communities as well. Great question.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that. And we're going to bring Nicole up to the stage to talk domains.
Hey, Nicole. We can't hear you. Or I can't hear you.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
there
you.
it is.
I'm forever muted. So I do obviously have some questions. I cannot let you leave here without us talking about domains. So when we are thinking about domains for Web 3.0, Unstoppable always comes to mind. Can you tell us some of the different use cases for using unstoppable domains and how we can take advantage of those and where and how to actually get in touch with Unstoppable?
Yes. And what I would say is, Nicole, anybody who's on your either your Discord or here today, if I can get an email address, I will give you a coupon for a free Unstoppable domain. I guess before I probably should tell you what it is so that you want it first. But it's quite I think very powerful. A domain in the Web3 world is so much greater than a domain in a Web2 world. In the Web3 world, that domain has superpowers. So first, it's user owned and controlled. So there's no renewal fees. Once it's yours, it's yours. It is decentralized. So it's held and created on the chain. So it's always yours, forever yours. And any third party can read that information out of that Ethereum database and resolve that name without our permission or your permission for sure, but without our permission. And then what it does is it creates this platform where other tools and applications can be built. Now you can use that domain as your way to get access to different applications. So today we have over 250 different applications that you can get access to from those domains. So it's really, really powerful as you see it go forward, because I can use that domain. Mine is sandy.nft, which is the way I signed in today, sandy.nft. I can use that domain to sign into the metaverse, like the metaverse fashion show with Decentraland. I can use that same domain to sign into a DeFi application like Cook Finance. I can use that same application to sign into a game, and the list goes on. So that becomes my digital identity. It's so powerful. And I would love to gift each of you one of these. I think it's really a powerful thing that everybody here should have.
I am definitely somebody who has a whole collection of unstoppable domains. And I think that the one major differentiator is that it is a forever domain. So once you get that, it's yours forever. So you talk about powerful. There's nothing more powerful than forever.
That's right. And it really supports that ownership model, right? Some people in Web3 are still trying to rent it to you. But we do believe in the power of Web3, which is about ownership. So you own it. And think about your choice, right? Like I picked sandy.nft. I also have sandy.crypto. So I go between the two. But it will become, in the future, as more and more applications embed it, it will become the single way I log into those applications. So choose wisely that name for sure.
For sure. So last question. When we're thinking about those extensions, so .nfts, your cryptos, your wallets, any idea when we're going to get that blockchain?
Well, I can't reveal any sources, but let me say this, soon and very soon, for sure.
Exciting. Okay. Well, guys, you heard it here first. Soon and very soon. So
very soon. That's right. That's
right. I want to thank you for coming to the conference, being a part of our grand finale, and definitely for the freebie that you are going to give to everyone who was here today. And we will get you that information. We'll have them opt in to send over their email addresses for sure. Okay. So thank you, guys. I am going to head out. We are going to go to
before you head out, can I take a picture of us to post on Twitter?
Sure.
Is that okay with you guys? Okay. What do you say?
Cheese.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for the honor of being here. It's my privilege and pleasure to support you guys. If there's anything else I can do, please let me know.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks Sandy.
Guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. I am back. Before Corey comes back, I just want to read a poem. The Woman I Am. Some say I am a strong woman. Some tell me I am a brave woman. Some think I should be more of a woman. Some will tell you I'm a good woman, while some think I'm not much of a woman, or at all like any woman they ever known, and that I could be so much more. But I am all a woman. All I am is my woman. I am the woman I can be, the one I want to be, not the one I should be, could be, would be, not so much more, too much like, or nearly so. The woman I am is who I am. Corey, come on up.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful poem. And I know that women everywhere can identify with that. You're an amazing, beautiful creation and beautiful and acceptable just as you are, even though sometimes it's so hard for us to really get. So I thank you for sharing that. Really meaningful to me this morning. You guys, we have another guest that we're going to bring back so we can continue our discussion, Miss Kayla Love, to talk about the Crypto Girl project and also mint condition. Welcome back, Kayla.
Hey, thanks, Corey. Man, these last couple sessions were so inspiring. This is just such an amazing platform, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to speak with you all because it's actually my first time seeing, like women in blockchain and being part of this community, which I've been looking for. I've been, invested in some NFT women communities like Boss Beauties, but
Yeah.
this is awesome.
I'm in Boss Beauties too. I'm just meeting
Okay.
all these kindred spirits.
Yes, yes.
NFT projects
Eh,
up here.
Yeah, if you see the my pinned tweet on Kayla Love Music, I wrote a Boss Beauties like open verse when they announced their partnership with Marvel when I first
All
came in the
right.
community. So just trying to make music for the movement.
Yeah, they are doing things. I'm just waiting on them to catch up with World of Women, and it's gonna happen.
I know, and it was funny because I remember sitting there and I had I knew I wanted to invest in a women-led project, and I was sitting there looking at women in weapons and fame ladies and
Yeah.
World of Women. So it was like I could have either bought one World of Women at that time or
Mhm.
multiple Boss Beauties, and then they announced their partnership with Marvel. I said I think that's a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But tell us about Crypto Girl and what you're doing on the blockchain right now. Tell us more.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I was oh yes, I got my presentation up now. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Appreciate that. I parsed it down to just a couple slides because originally it's like over 100 slides. So this is just Crypto Girl. So it's a song and I wrote it about a year ago now. But they wasn't ready. And so I'm finally like getting around to releasing it. And so the song is, it's a vibe if you're into hip hop music. But if you're into Web3, then you're really gonna get with me on it because there's a lot of double entendres. So it's like the chorus, like I will not sell my soul, but I will stake it. And so the idea that we're always selling
Mm.
our souls to the music industry, but like the idea of staking crypto, right? So it kind of might go over some people's heads like this is certified authentic. You cannot fake this. This is non-fungible. You cannot interchange it. This is the time and the space for new innovation. And so there's just a lot of kind of coded messages, and it's just one of many songs. I got NFT love songs, I got political songs, and they all have some type of coded message that's a double entendre for what's going on in Web3. So,
Amazing. So I
um,
know you're about to be doing some concerts in the metaverse soon.
oh yes, yeah. Went from being down in the dirt to spitting verses in the metaverse. I got all
I love it.
yes, all kinds of bars in there. And so part of the initiative is, you listen to the song, you learn about Web3 in a creative, fun way. So education is always at the forefront of my work. But furthermore, it's about building the community. So I don't know if I'll be able to like scroll through since I'm not sharing. But yes, the mission is to empower underrepresented communities in the Web3 world. And we kind of see this Web 2 world and going to Web 3 idea that now we have ownership. And I think like Web 2 looked more like the triangle, very top
Mm,
down model. If you
mm,
in one place in the triangle, you can either go up or across, or if you at the top, down and across, right? In
mhm.
the decentralized world, and like in the next slide I think it demonstrates this as well, is that there's this new model of community contribution and collaboration. And that's a quote from Spotty Wi-Fi, who I was talking about earlier. And you see these multiple points of collaboration. And that's what I think is really exciting and what I'm trying to leverage with this project. And then let's see, next slide. So I've been talking to a lot of music industry professionals, so people that are working in distribution and publishing, the production side of things, the legal side of things, and just asking, well, what's holding you back from entering this Web3 world? And these are the most common reasons that I get is people are always saying that they have heard about it. I think it's on the next slide, that they're interested in the potential of the space, but they don't know where to start, that
Mm,
it sounds technical. They don't understand it. How can you explain it to your fan base? And again, the money grab thing is a big thing. And so
mhm.
my project is really seeking to solve these problems and more. And that's by being a collaborative project. Again, it's empowering specifically music artists, educators, industry executives, and entrepreneurs to build their businesses in the world of Web3. I think we can go ahead and fast forward to the next couple of slides to the goal slide, creating this bridge between the Web2 and Web3 music industry. And so what I've done the last year is study projects that I'm part of the community, like Boss Beauties, like Afro Droids, like
Mhm.
Spotty Wi-Fi, and seeing what their discords are like, what their project is like, their mission, and what gives those projects value. So, for example, Boss Beauties, their partnerships, for example, with Marvel, Coinbase, the first NFT to be displayed at the New York Stock Exchange,
And the United Nations.
and the United Nations now for International Women's Month on Day. And they're notable holders like Eva Longoria and Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, the community being like around a mission of empowering girls and women in the world of technology. All of these things are what's driving their value. Spotty's value is being driven by the fact that he's, tapping into a community that is already very active by creating a new model that then can be replicated and inspire other artists such as myself to build on top of. Afro Droids giving back to the organization in Nigeria called Dream Catchers, which is now housing and educating 30 girls, orphaned girls. And so these are just incredible initiatives that I have been inspired by and have taken kind of something from each one of them to incorporate now into the Crypto Girl project. And on the next slide, it has some of the things that I've taken away. So the art is built around culture, inclusion, empowerment, and authenticity, the philanthropy aspect, collaborations, and community bridging with other successful NFT projects, partnerships, media coverage, metaverse wearable airdrops, and notable holders. So these are things that now I'm incorporating. And I want to take a moment to really talk about that partnership aspect, because one of my partnerships is with a group of a duo, specifically Kuzi and Six the Law. Shout outs to them. They're doing amazing things out there in Zimbabwe. And I was already interested in doing philanthropy with Zimbabwe because one of my best friends works for a nonprofit called the Global Healthcare Initiative. And so Global Offsite Care. And so she has been really interested in how do we bring technology into the medical field to make it more accessible for communities that don't traditionally have it. And so I helped her with the fundraiser and like my PowerPoint designs. And so she's actually launching and has already sent out the first batch of medical equipment to Zimbabwe. And so with my Crypto Girl project, we'll be able to actually fund our team to go out there and bring the training to fully, financially, but also educationally supply that medical clinic out there. And then it's really awesome that I also have my NFT partnerships out there in Harare, Zimbabwe, so that we're able to just bridge kind of the community aspect, the healthcare aspect, and the music aspect out there. And so that's one of the initiatives of Crypto Girl. And so the next slide goes into Mint Condition. These are their slides. And this is such a cool initiative that I'm so excited about because I don't know, you've probably seen Corey, but online courses, especially with college tuition rising sky high.
Oh yeah.
The student debt amounting, the pandemic taking away in-person instruction. Anyways, online courses have been a big boom because it's people's value adds, people that have very niche topics that they're experts in are now already in Web 2. We're starting to be able to monetize that their knowledge and their unique value add. And now Web 3 with Mint Condition, they're able to actually do that on the blockchain. And so this is just kind of a little breakdown on what that is. So next slide, please. NFTs for knowledge exchange. And one more slide, please. Thank you. So Mint Condition helps creators mint courses, tutorials, interviews, and documentaries as NFTs, allowing collectors to learn and earn with creators through a vibrant resale ecosystem and creator royalties. So I have a lot of the partners with Crypto Girl that are doing music industry work, like Christine Morel, our Music Hustler initiative, which is helping artists to book their own shows, create their own PR packages, know how to reach out to the media to get coverage, create that storyline. She does a lot of sales of lists, like here are college booking agents, here is a list of Spotify playlisters, here's a list of festivals that pay independent artists to perform. So now someone like her is able to take all of that information that she's already spent years curating and offer it on the blockchain. And as you know, with an NFT, you can assign even further utility to it. So now she can say that anybody who owns like this particular course is now able to come to the conference, maybe for free or maybe for a discount. And so that's why I think it's just so necessary and exciting that this is already happening, because I was like, this is one of my ideas. I don't know if I can execute it, but the next best thing is to have partners, people that I know and trust, that I know are good people that have the right intentions, being the drivers of this project. And Kuzi and Six are definitely in that category. So we can go to the next slide talking about the problem that they're trying to solve. But there's this limited number of revenue opportunities, particularly for people in areas like Africa, Asia, and parts of the developing world. And so I think that they've done a great job to locate that problem in their community and find an immediate solution. And I've been on the ground making this happen, putting in the hours to make it possible to monetize tutorial and educational content. And so there, a lot of times it's either through like these kind of massive price tags, or you're ending up giving it away for free just on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so now this is a great medium where you're able to actually, display that ownership and transfer that ownership through just educational content. So, I mean, ultimately, my dream for them is that they'll be the ones issuing college degrees. Like you go in, you take all of your prereqs, and then you get an NFT for each one. And then if you meet all of them, and then you get to unlock your degree. Like that's really what I see the future being. And yeah, I mean, I could
Love
go
it.
off on like how the SAT made their way through the College Board and like partnered with UC Berkeley because they knew if they could sell it to Berkeley, then they could sell it to all the universities. And now they've adopted this like deeply flawed and biased test,
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they could do all that, then why can't we bring mint condition to make sure that it's like the protocol for every a college, for the way that we now deliver degrees. So these are just like long-term scalable applications for what they're doing. And then I think on the next slide, it just shows that, that was the problem they were trying to solve. The solution is mint condition, and it's creating this entire knowledge exchange. So we see things like the, Khan Academy has been immensely popular, or Coursera, where college, and so I have partnered with these platforms to democratize essentially education. And so this is just a new way of doing that on the blockchain, so that instructors and teachers, it's really important. They put in so many hours, a lot of times underpaid, sometimes not paid at all, after the clock, paying for their own supplies. And I'm really excited to see how this empowers educators, because they're able to actually take the unique curriculum that it's just a labor of love that they've done because they want to have a better experience for their students, and actually be able to, one, bring that better experience to even more students than the ones that are immediately in front of them in their classrooms, but also to profit from that, which they should be doing all along. But unfortunately, America ain't been recognizing teachers the way they need to be.
This is a Web3 and its marriage between decentralization, Web3, and content creators is an amazing thing. And I know exactly, this is like, I go to Udemy all the time. And I'm quite sure that those instructors, and a lot of it is just great material, but they're selling it, for pennies on the dollar. And I'm sure that most of it doesn't even get to the people who create it. Most of it probably goes to that centralized, whoever it happens to be, as you mentioned, Coursera or Udemy. So this is absolutely brilliant that they're bringing this to the blockchain. Is so innovative. And I know people get so tired of hearing it, but just like our last guest said, we really are still so early. So this is absolutely perfect as a way, like, the pandemic definitely changed the way that everybody learns and does business. And so many more people are now, especially the generation that's coming up, actually acclimated to doing, learning virtually and online. So this makes sense as the next evolution. And definitely glad to hear that they're actually also going to launch it in developing countries where there's probably even a lot less opportunity than we even have here.
Absolutely. It's so important to bridge that gap and to create that general wealth opportunity for people that have traditionally been left out and haven't had the opportunity to build wealth. And so I'm really excited to partner have Crypto Girl partner with Mint Condition, because like I said, my project is really geared around music artists and music industry professionals. And part of the utility for the Dream 100 that are selected to be part of the community is that they will be able to mint their courses on Mint Condition. I will help them structure the course, Kuzi and Six will help them mint the course and have it featured on the platform. And then we'll be able to bring that to a wider audience together. And then therefore, keep spreading the message about Crypto Girl, keep spreading the message about Mint Condition, being able to do now giveaways. You come to our webinar, you get to learn about what a booking agent does, how to get in contact with booking agents, what they look for, how to maximize your ability to get booked. And then bam, we're going to do a giveaway for somebody who attended our webinar, one of the holders, and you get to now get a free Mint Condition course by, my homegirl Jalen, who's the booking agent.
Right.
So it's just amazing how everything now is able to tie in together, and we're able to just bring that knowledge to a wider base in a way that's really accessible.
Well, you're here in the right place at the right time, bringing the right products. And again, it's just wonderful to see a person of color doing this and a woman of color. So I applaud everything that you are, working with and working on. Tell us how people can reach you and find out more about your project.
Absolutely. So you can find me on all social medias at Kayla Love Music. That's KAILALOVE music, spelled normally. And KaylaLove.com is where I kind of have my hub of my Web 2 hub, KaylaLove.io. I'm building out my Web 3 hub so you can see the Crypto Girl roadmap and partners. And I'm working to update that. And I'm about to have a lot more content. I'm about to start featuring music artists, and I have, just like months and months of pages that I've just been trying to figure out, how do I get this out to the world? So the next couple of months, I'm definitely going to start getting that out. And then Mint Condition, the app. Yeah, mintcondition.app is where you can find Mint Condition, get early access, sign up for early access, join the Discord, see their first project rollout, and just learn more about how if you have any educational content, how you can now bring that to the blockchain.
Thank you again, Kayla. It has definitely been our honor to have you grace the stage, and we can't wait to see what you're going to come up with next, and we know that you're going to have great success.
And thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you for holding this platform. I'm just, I'm sad that I'm late to the party. I'm like, what you mean this is the last one? I'm just getting started. Hold on.
Oh, well, you're here now, so you're family. So
I'm gonna have to go.
Just know
all the replays.
And you're going to be here next year.
Oh, yes, I surely will.
Well, good luck out there at NFT LA. Have fun, girl.
And I'll be repping for the women in blockchain.
Yes. Talk to you very soon.
Thanks.
Thank you, my love. We're going to bring Yinka back up to the stage.
Thank you, Corey. I have one more poem to read. It's called I Am a Woman. I am the woman I can be, and I have my side of vulnerability. I live and deal with them. I have that capability. I am a woman of thoughts. I pen them down as they are. The lines I write reflect my image. They can show my inner war. I'm a woman who believes love, hope, humanity still exists. Jealousy and hatred has no place in me. It is something my mind resists. I am a woman with strength. I have seen the worst and still stand. I smiled through those difficult times. I believe in myself. The power is in my hand. I am a woman of substance, and I know my worth. I hold my dignity and respect. I'm here to hold my place on Mother Earth. This poem was by Priya Shiva. Thank you. And we'll go to a 5-minute intermission.
Hey guys, and welcome back from intermission. I want to bring to the stage someone that you will definitely recognize if you've been joining us here for the live stream this last month, and that is Natasha Raymond, one of our beloved hosts and committee members. Come on up to the stage, Natasha.
Oh, hello, Corey. Good to see you.
You too. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm not exactly camera ready, so you guys are going to get this avatar today.
That is perfectly fine. We're just glad that you're here to celebrate our last day. Bittersweet, right? I know that you have a special NFT project you want to talk about that is near and dear to your heart. So I know you have prepared a little presentation for us to talk about that.
Yes, it's a short presentation.
Very good.
All right, so we're starting with, this is a blog I have. If you want to know all things about Natasha now or in the future, you can just go to my blog. It's at natashareeman.com, and there I talk about all kinds of stuff because, you know, I'm into a little bit of everything from converting our old minivan into a camper van, and I share a lot of like recipes, and I think my latest post is all about crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse. Oh my, right? So I talk about me and my daughter, and you'll see this is being alt space. So look, when I'm in the metaverse, I don't really have an alter ego. So, you know, what you see is what you get in all places for Natasha. And you see a little bit of my home there, which is, if you've been with us all month, you met Artsy, who is an amazing world builder. And this is an Artsy original that I take residence in alt space. But enough about me. Let's talk about My Dark Cats, which is a collection of artwork by my daughter, which you can find on OpenSea. And let me give you the backstory. So, how I came into this space of the blockchain, how I ended up having an NFT collection called My Dark Cats. So, I was on Clubhouse, just minding my business, you know, and I ran into Yinka, and Yinka was doing these spaces every week where she educates people on the blockchain to bring people into the blockchain space. And I said, well, let me just go in here and see what she's talking about. And I did not even know there was more than one blockchain. I had heard the term blockchain, but I did not know there was more than one. I had never even heard the term NFT. So that's where I was starting when I met Yinka. And then Yinka took my little hand in hers and just opened up a whole new world to me. Okay.
She's really good at that, right?
She is. And so every week I was back in, she had a room called What the Hell is Blockchain? And that was a question that I had. And so every week for months, I was just there listening and doing, as Tam says, taking notes and asking questions. Right. And so when I figured out what NFTs were, I said, you know what? I am not an artist. This is not a thing for me, but I have a daughter. She was 12 at the time, and she draws all the time. So the thing about my daughter is she is 13 now, and she's on the spectrum. And so when you're on the spectrum, one thing you can do is be super hyper focused on one thing. And so her one thing is cats. Okay. So she will draw cats from sun up to sundown. So I felt like this was two great things it could be for me and my daughter. One, an outlet for all these cats that she's creating every single day. Okay. So I said, you know what, honey, we're going to take your stuff. You already have it on the computer. It's already just sitting here, just taking up space. We might as well get you a collection. Let's get you minted on the blockchain. So she learned about the blockchain. She learned about cryptocurrency. And then I've been homeschooling her since the pandemic started. So I'm always thinking about ways to throw in some type of lesson with our activities. And I said, this is also a great opportunity to introduce her to entrepreneurship. So we started on that journey. She came up with the My Dark Cats name. We started an LLC. She got the domain name. And so that was exciting for her all the way through till where she actually made her first sale. So her first sale was this little guy right here named Suit Claw.
Aww.
And
do they all have different names?
They all have different names. Each one has a name that she comes up with. Little names. I don't know who these three fellas are. I don't know, but we just call them Trey because there's three of them. I don't know. Venom's a little, I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to be scary, I just go with whatever she does. This is her collection.
They're adorable.
They're one of ones, and it grows as it grows. So we had our first sale. It was one of our Clubhouse friends named David, and he's on Twitter, Bit Gallery. You may have seen him in the comments of our chat because he's been supporting BWBC all month long. So that was exciting for her. And then she was super excited. This one right here, Ash, was bought during a live Instagram by the one and only Nyla Hayes of the Long Necky Ladies.
All right. Yes.
She loves to support young artists, and she supported Joy. And I think she particularly liked the long neck. So I don't know. Maybe a long necky kitties collection coming. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the artist decides to do. So,
how excited was your daughter to find out that Nyla purchased that?
I mean, really, she was happy that someone purchased anything at that point in time. But, once she was really happy that someone who was so famous had taken the time to notice what she was doing and recognize her artwork, and that they wanted to actually have her work in their collection.
That is so cool. And tell me, does she have a cat or cats in real life?
Yes, Joy, that's my child's name. She has a cat, and the cat's name is Missy, and she has been her cat since she was about 18 months old. And like I said, she's 13 now. So I don't know if that's what sparked her interest in cats, but that's like her best friend in the whole world. She loves that cat. So
I love cats too. Cat. I have a cat named Sweetie that's our house cat, and then my wife has taken in 2 strays that we feed outdoors. So I definitely have a special place in my heart for cats, and this is a super cute project. And, what a great way, as you said, to start her down the road of entrepreneurship, learning about how to handle money. And there's just so many lessons and being able to do this as a young person and getting her started early in blockchain and NFTs.
Yes. Look, here we go. I'm going to share something with you. Here we go. So this is...
Oh my gosh, that is too cute.
This is Missy. So I have a teenage son, and these are the things he puts on Instagram. She too has a following. Just that's the inspiration. That is the muse for the My Dark Cats collection. And you see, she does have a bit of an attitude. So
I see.
Maybe that's where all the sassiness comes from. So.
All right now. I love that bonnet. Thank you so much, Natasha. How can people get hold? Because I'm definitely committing to, I want that pink one, that pink and gray one. That one right there. I'm committing to purchase one today. How can people get a dark cat?
Well, the collection is on OpenSea. So if you just go to OpenSea.io and you search for the collection, My Dark Cats, you'll find it right there. Super simple. And I say it's a steal of a deal. It's a steal of a deal. Get in while you can.
Oh no, Yinka's trying to tell me that she want that one. No, we're gonna see who gets it first.
Yeah, Yinka has been looking at that one for quite some time, but it's still available.
Well, there's so many good ones, so we'll see. To the victor belongs the spoils, and thank you so much for sharing this. What have been your thoughts on this being the last day, us wrapping up, and here with the International Women of Blockchain conference?
Wow, my thoughts have been that this has just been an amazing thing that came from an amazing person, from when all of this was just an idea in the brilliant mind of Yinka, through this every day in the month of March, how she's brought so many people together, from the committee to the speakers and everyone that's been involved with it. Even my mom, who is over 60,
all right,
registered, and she's been watching with us every single day. And so I remember the conversations we've had, because when I tried to explain to her about this NFT collection her granddaughter had, it wasn't translating the best. But now she's all hip to all things blockchain, NFTs, DeFi. I mean, she sends me links to articles now. So got memories galore from this month. It definitely made the month of March all the better for me. And I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity to play whatever part that I played in it. And I'm just looking forward to see what's coming in the future.
Amazing. And thank you for your contribution and for being such a major part of this, and being here as our beautiful host, one of two that hopefully will bring the other person up to the stage here pretty soon. But thank you for everything.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to an intermission. back, everybody, from the intermission. We're joined by all the lovely ladies that are part of this month-long project, International Blockchain, to do a little blockchain banter
Yeah.
and share our thoughts from this wonderful month-long event, and just like what's on our minds, what's happening, women of blockchain. What are your thoughts here on the conference and your best moments, funny moments, all that good stuff?
Oh wow. Yeah, man, we've had so many different moments. We've gone through, thinking about the pain and suffering that we went through planning this event, and then me introducing the fact that when weekends were going to be part of the event, and I had so many hindrance. People were like, "No, not, you're not taking my weekends. Nope, you're not doing that to me." I was like, we have to have weekends because I had a vision of, having some time for people to learn how to relax, right? Because this is just it's a fast-paced space,
Yeah.
and you always want to be tapped in. Like I'm hearing like all these projects that you ladies have jumped into, and sometimes we have this tunnel vision, and we stick to it. But if you really want to keep up, you have to have your hands in so many different things, and that also means losing sleep, right? So introducing the weekends, and people, some of the committee members were just like, no, you're not taking away my weekends. It's all you. The other Natasha, yeah, she was like, no. So, I said, okay, that's okay. I'll do weekends. But you know what? Tam was my girl.
All right, Tam.
Because I soon realized that navigating, being on screen, trying to get speakers up was not something that I was great at. So when y'all see like those weekends, like the first half, you'll see me like a lot of bloopers. But you know what? I'm grateful that I was able to go through that experience. I'm grateful for all the mods. I'm grateful for Nicole for being able to navigate all of that, right? Because transitioning, and like comments and letting people know. I mean, that's a task within itself. So that was what I learned and took away. But I still do like the weekends, though. It was cool.
Well, I have to say, I was probably one of those people who was like, no weekends for me, because they say Web3 stands for you get 3 hours of sleep a week. That's what that means. So my weekends were sacred. I'm so happy that you did that. It's definitely a big issue. Mental health and wellness in this space is critically important. So thank you for taking the time to do that. I have a special appreciation for Nicole and event production now that I have not ever had before. It's no easy task. And she did a fantastic job, as well as Tam being there like Miss Reliable. And all of the committee members, you guys are just, I'm so proud to be part of this team.
Yeah, man, we had a good time, and we had lots of joy, and we had some tears, and we had just really great moments. And just thinking back, I had the honor of introducing this conference to the metaverse and being able to just interact with all the women that are active in this space, and even the ones who could not attend. Being able to, reach out to them and make those new friendships and relationships has been great. And being able to really see people for who they really are, and being able to celebrate that in all forms has been truly fascinating. And so I think that, there's a lot of women in this space who are not recognized. And that is what this conference has served to do, is to recognize women who are doing great things in this space. And I'm going to tell you something, y'all. There's a lot of people who are not on board with that. They want that self-recognition at all costs. And we ran into that too. So it has been some waters that we've had to navigate. But in the end of the day, at the end of every day, we were able to say that the women who were on stage, they had their opportunity and they were here and they were seen, and we honored and celebrated them no matter who they were and no matter what part of the blockchain they were operating on. And man, we learned a whole lot. Tam and her notepad.
Yes, learned so much.
We had a good time. And I appreciate everybody on the committee. I definitely 100% thank the Mod Squad and Natasha R, who's on stage with us right now. She came through and, she took up a task that we didn't have the hands to do. So thank you for that. And then, you just kind of become a sister here too. So thank you. We appreciate everybody for sure.
Absolutely. Nicole, Yinka, Corey, Natasha, you guys have really just transformed my life just with this entire event. Like just from getting to know you all more, Yinka, us connecting, Corey, listening to the way that I took a lot of pointers from you, by the way, on how to interview. And then Nicole just really being there, just solid and rock solid in helping with production. And I just really appreciate everybody. I appreciate our entire audience for tuning in with us every single day. And all of our sponsors for helping us to bring this to fruition. It's important that we continue this conversation. And like Nicole was saying, we've had a lot in the background going on, but all in all, this has been a fantastic conference. And I really am excited about International Women in Blockchain 2023. So yeah, I can't wait to learn some more.
Already talking about 2023 because I'm afraid to even say that. I'm like, do they even want to do 2023? But I'm glad that
Heck yeah, man. We're here for 2023 and next year, I just can't even imagine the things that are gonna blow my mind next year. But I think the first time my mind was blown was with Artsy and her showing us the metaverse, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I've got a chance to speak to so many great speakers, these women who know so much about everything from real estate to compliance to NFTs. This has just been a time to really get your feet, more than your feet wet. I feel like I got thighs. My thighs are wet in this space now. I know so much more, and I'm really just excited to keep learning and to keep connecting. And so yeah, 2023, here we come.
Yeah,
I concur. Yes.
There is one other person who definitely needs to be up here, and she is in transit, but I'm hoping she's in a good space to speak with us. So, Miss Naja Roberts, hey.
Hey. I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. I can barely hear you all, but I just want to say I'm outside of the school. You all have done an incredible, incredible job. And I just want to thank you on behalf of all the women around the world for pulling this together. Your vision, your tenacity, your consistency is unparalleled. There's nothing that I have seen in the cryptocurrency space or elsewise that has been as awesome as this, with everybody just pulling together to have an event. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be a part. I'm thinking the crypto part definitely was not my favorite part. It had all to do with the relaxation on Sundays. So please, just know that you are appreciated. If no one else tells you, and I know they all will, this was an incredible event. And again, thank you for being a part.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Naja.
Thank you, Naja, because you definitely contributed.
High praise coming from Naja.
Yeah. Let's bring the rest of the ladies up as well and get their take on the event. I know, man, when we first started, we started off with a lot of women who said, yes, I want to help. And they all got their, introduction into the chaos that I had introduced to all of y'all. Because I will say it was chaotic. There was things that weren't structured. We were using a platform that wasn't the best. but we made it work, right? We made it work. And at the same time, we had a deadline. We started in January, and not even the first week of January. I think it was like the second or third. And it was basically like, let's do this. Let's do a month long. Let's do an event, is how I said it. Then let's make it month long, right? And then everybody was like, okay. And I remember going to a particular platform and saying, yeah, we want to do an event, and it's a month long. And I'm sure the guy was like, wait, what? Because he couldn't get it wrapped around his head. He was like, well, the platform, we could only do it for 72 hours. We're thinking, is that like 72 hours chopped up? Because we can maybe make that work for a whole month, right? He was like, no, it's 72 hours, 3 days. That wasn't going to work. And it was expensive too. But after a while, our event production, she was like, we can make this work. We don't need them. Like, StreamYard. So we started testing things, and we had some late night activities, and it was great. It was great. So I just want to say thank you, ladies, for everything that you guys have put into it, your blood, sweat, and tears. To our two hosts that are backstage, and Sabrina's here, but Anna Isabel isn't. Please come up. I just want to thank you all for everything that you did, your contribution to this event. It's just been fantastic. It's been fantastic. So I really appreciate it. So ladies, you guys are joining us. What was your most memorable moment? I'm not going to choose names.
Okay, I'll start. Hello, everyone. How are you all?
Good.
I'm Sabrina, and yeah, I just wanted to say what Nadia said earlier. Thank you so much. You did an incredible job. Even though it looked like I wasn't here for some time, I've been looking at it. I've been looking at you. I've been following Discord, and you really did an amazing job. And I saw it from the start as well, where I could participate a bit more. And the strength of all you women together was just mind blowing. Like, I'm super grateful to be part of this. Super grateful for you guys to letting me do the first Spanish panel and talk. That was truly amazing, and really, something that the other ladies in the panel appreciated. And I hope we can do that more in 2023 for sure. And yeah, super grateful. And I think this was super successful. And we showed the world that we can do it, together.
Sabrina, one of my favorite moments was your actual panel discussion, where everyone was just kind of speaking in their native tongue. And it was like, you didn't have translators. We had other segments that did do that, but you guys were just comfortably speaking in what was fluent for you. And it worked. And we were kind of worried about whether or not it was going to work and how it was going to hit. But I love that segment. That was absolutely one of my favorites. I have a whole lot of favorites, but that was one of them because it was like so, natural. And, it got to me. It was a moment for us to sit back and say, this is what it feels like when we're always telling folks to speak English. You know what I mean? Like they have to go and shift gears. And it's like, this is what that was. So thank you for wanting to do that and for being insistent that we do it and then putting it together, because that was all you. And so we appreciate you for sure as being a member of the committee.
Yeah, thank you. And the other ladies, as you said, they were comfortable because they could speak in their own language, because some of them didn't speak English. So they were like, I want to do this, but if we do it in English, I can't. I'm not able to do it. So that's what I'm saying. They were super grateful, and they said, any other time you need us, when this happens again, please call us. We want to be here. So happy to help for next year to do this bigger, have more Spanish speakers, other languages. We need to have other languages as well. And I'm sure we can do it working together for sure.
Dude, that's what international is all about, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's exactly what it's about. I appreciate that, because we touch so many corners of the world, with people who, because we sometimes English speakers, we forget that we are not like, really the dominant language out here. There's so many other languages, so many other people, and the Web3 space is the space for everyone. Right. And so I just think about how it's going to even help us to broaden our horizons when it comes to languages and relating to people in different cultural backgrounds. And so just having that whole segment, having the speakers that were one of our speakers who was speaking, I think she was French. It's important to have representation in every space and anything that you hold, especially in this Web3, because it's about the community, it's about the interconnectivity, and we're gonna be in a world that is our children's children will be speaking multiple languages because of this space. I'm a firm believer in that, and so I appreciate that you were here and that you were able to present that for us, and I thank you and all of the ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
that segment for me was one of the, I guess, testimony, right, of the fact that we say we're international. I know behind the scene we were thinking, okay, can we get translators or
Yes.
what is it, the transcripts that's closed captioning in English to transcribe that. So, that whole thought process, but when everything just happened, it worked seamlessly, right? We even had an individual, right? Gladys, I believe, that you videotape her responses to some of the question, and we ended up playing it to include her in that discussion. And everything worked out so well. Like, we were stressed, but it worked out, and I was so happy that it worked out.
Yes, it did.
And that's amazing too, because in this space, so many people talk about diversity and inclusion, but they talk the talk, but they're not walking the walk. And those are the same people that are, everything is English speakers, and they don't even consider the possibility of, sorry, y'all, I'm losing my voice now, of something else. But, not only did you guys consider it, you did it. And that is an amazing testament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. One of the other things that I found absolutely amazing, that was one of the things that I feel like really kicked this conference off, was our logo. And so we have an amazing logo that was designed by someone here on stage. And so Lavina, that logo, man, that's been everything for us. And so I want to definitely say thank you for that. And you're also one of our hostesses. And so, you've done an outstanding job with that. And just that logo really kicked things off. And it was the inspiration for so much. So can you tell us a little bit, like, what were you thinking when you made up the logo and really the initial design for it? Because I know it evolved over time.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think for me, it's definitely been, how can we have something that's very simplistic, yet very representational of what we're in? And, it always boils back down to our skill set. And that's pretty much, where the base kind of really started. But yeah, I mean, I guess for me, when I did it, I literally did it within a couple of hours. And I thought, well, let's just share this and see where this goes. And I was just surprised. Like, everybody was, yes, that's the one. We're going with it. So yeah, I guess you guys made it as real for me as it was for you, I think, all around it's just been magical. It really has.
We're going to put that up here so we can see it really quickly. I want to just share this because this logo has done so much. Tam, scoot over a little bit because it's right the other way. Yeah, this is going to be right over here. So that is one of the iterations of the logo. Definitely the inspiration that you put out there. But I also want to show this one really quickly, just so y'all can see kind of where this logo has been. And so we're going to take 15 seconds and just do this because it's good. Okay, so that wasn't 15 seconds, but it was still good. So yeah, the dancing that happened behind the scenes was absolutely amazing. We definitely did enjoy kind of putting the logo through its different iterations and use cases here throughout the conference. It's present. So, you know, I know some things came up and you had to step out, but that logo was always here. So you were always a part of us. And so we definitely appreciate you and everything that you put into this conference for us and just making that happen, because without you, it wouldn't have. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. I just want to take this moment to give a shout out to every single person that literally was involved, whether it was from a really small to a very large thing. I think, you know, no amount of effort can actually be equated. So yeah, a huge shout out to those that are on screen and those that are not, equally so. So yeah, kudos to everybody. And again, Yinka, huge vision. And yeah, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, this is not a me thing. This is a we thing. Like, women got together from all across the world and said, yes, we want to participate. We want to help cultivate other speakers, build this thing from the scratch. And to have that is just, it warms my heart, because you know, oftentimes, you know, you navigate through this space and you're thinking there's no women out there. There's no way that you can collaborate with other women. Everybody is in it for themselves, right? Which kind of seems like this space kind of seems like that sometimes. But to have a community of women who said, let's build, let's create, and let's produce this so that other women can come on and see that there's a community already cultivated for them who are all over the world, right? So it's not just a segment, it's everyone. You can find someone that looks like you in this space, right? And that's the testimony to how powerful this blockchain ecosystem that we're building is. And I just want to thank you, Lavina, for spearheading that, because I know in the early stages, it was kind of like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. And then when we saw that logo, it really was transformational. It was like, oh crap, this is legit. This is real now, right? It was that signal that I needed to say, you know what, we're doing this. And so I thank you for that. I also thank you for being one of our, in the beginning, the host as well. So thank you for stepping up and doing that too. Go ahead. Somebody else was talking to Simon.
I wanted to say too, not just creating it, but every request thereafter. There was a ton of requests, right? So in the beginning, it was like, oh, well, I need this and I need this and I need this. And you were there and you did that and you came through every single time. And I think that I can say that about, you know, pretty much everybody, that anytime that we needed something from the folks on this stage, they were there and they came through and they delivered every single time. And that may have been at midnight, that may have been at 8:55, right before we were getting to start, or you know, in the middle of broadcast with my moderators. So you know, you guys were flexible, and I appreciate that immensely, because without that, we wouldn't have had a production. Flexibility is extremely important when you are doing a live production. People's schedules are fluctuating all the time, and they're not here. And, you know, we have got to fill in the gap. And so my mod squad, you guys are amazing. I do have NFTs for the mod squad as well as the committee members. So if you have not gotten those, please make sure that I have your address so that I can send it over to you when gas is better. Because not right now.
Yeah, gas is high.
I tried to get that dark pink cat before Yinka did, and
no, we don't have to fight. I'm telling you, Nicole, how long and hard I've been fighting to get that particular cat. And open he does not love me. He does not love me, but I will. I will I will succeed one of these days.
I'm gonna let you do
Don't take my cat. I know that's a good one. Okay, but I don't want you to take my. Look at another one.
Okay.
Try to convince you to get another one, Corey. I just wanted to say that, like,
getting that. No, it's fantastic. And speaking of my dark cats, Natasha, my girl Natasha. All right, so Natasha Raven, because we have two Natashas on stage. You know, your segment was funny as all get out. I love the fact that you were able to talk about my dark cats. I love the cat with the bonnet. Somebody actually asked to have one made for them. So hint, hint. So yeah, baby girl is about to blow up. She's about to blow up.
Mhm.
I'm glad that you introduced her into this space, and I'm glad that she's finding value in it, as well as you, that you're finding value in it as well. And I see you coming more and more out of your shell, so I love that. Yeah, so what was your most memorable moments?
Okay, my most memorable moment was, and this shows just how important this event was and how much people wanted to be a part of it, was when one of our presenters was dashing through an airport trying to get to be a part of this event, where we literally heard them calling for her to board the plane. But like everybody here, she knew this is not a moment she wanted to miss, and that she had to be a part of this event. So that stands out for me as my most memorable moment of the month for sure.
Yeah, she was literally walking through the airport with her
I
mask
still
on.
don't put anything on.
That was wild.
That was a good one. Yeah. We had a chance to tap into women all over the world, right? Just yesterday, Thailand. We had Chile, we had Spain. Sabrina joined us from Argentina?
Yeah, I was in Argentina that time, yeah.
Yeah. We touch a lot. And we also had someone who unfortunately couldn't be live streamed, but we did videotape her from Cuba. And that was fantastic to know that the blockchain ecosystem is touching everyone. It's truly decentralized. It's not just for the US, but it's all over Africa. The lady that was dashing through the airport, she was going on her way to Morocco.
Yeah.
She was catching a flight to Morocco. We've had
Tam. Look,
we have Ladina here from South Africa.
Definitely had Tam. I started out, I think, in Mexico, and then I was in California, and then I was I've been in a lot of places, but every day I was here. So I was traveling a lot. So you're definitely right. This conference is reaching everywhere, even if it's just me, the fact that I'm traveling everywhere. But no, it was phenomenal. Just every time logging on and seeing that I wasn't the only person that wasn't in the same spot. That was neat to see. But really just being able to connect no matter where I was important. And so having this conference and knowing that we did the research in the background to make sure that we could, reach as many places as we could with the platform. So it allowed me to, when I was in Mexico, to tap in, and when I came back to the States, to tap in again. And so very, very, I say kudos, to Yinka and Nicole in the beginning of the processing, making sure that was part of the plan. Hey, we need to make sure this is accessible in Mexico and in Africa, and as many places the platform can reach. We need to make sure we have a robust platform that can do that. So good job on you guys planning that, because I was definitely I'll be involved, but I don't know how well it's going to be, but it worked out. And I really appreciate you guys again for the opportunity.
Yes. Tam, man, my mod squad is amazing. So Tam and Corey and Naja, y'all have just come through, and I can't say enough about the growth that we've seen from you, Tam, in just the last month. I wanted to say weeks, but it's been a month. It is a month as of today. It started before that, definitely with planning and trying to get things together. But you just come out all the way of your shell, and you're doing great things. And I can't wait to see what's next for you. And Miss Color Me Crypto, Corey. Corey, from the beginning, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to count on her. That's somebody I'm gonna be able to go to. She's amazing. Yes, that's gonna be my right hand. And I really did feel that way quite a bit through everything. So thank you. You did fantastic. When you came through, you had your questions ready, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then you were able to wing it when necessary. You were able to pivot when necessary, and it was seamless. So you were not a headache for me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Like I said, you know, my mod squad was amazing. So thank you guys.
Oh man, I definitely got so much more than what I gave. And again, so proud to be part of this team. For me, just knowing that there are other women out there that are doing the work all over the world was life-changing, because you can get in your silo and you doing what you're doing, and you know, kind of see people on the peripheral, or you may interact with a few people, but having the kind of breadth that this conference gave and the depth that it gave to what is happening all over the world, how blockchain is changing the lives of women. And that's like one of the most important things to me, to be able to see that and connect with those women and ask them questions. Man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely got more than I gave to Corey. I 100% believe that. Like, I agree with that. Like, I got my notes over here, and the connections made here are really priceless. Like, I'm thinking about the titles and just the experience of some of the ladies in the space, and like, you know, where they've been in their careers, and the fact that, like, you know, now I have a way to connect with them, like straight to them, you know, via our Discord and that kind of thing. Is the information I've gotten about how to update my resume to get into this space. Like, this was all for me. You know, so I'm happy that, like, you know, everybody out there got value as well, but I was definitely asking questions for me. And I just appreciate everybody's support. And like, yeah, I appreciate everybody's support, and like, you know, in me doing that and understanding where I was coming from, and really just understanding that, like, you know, there are people like me who are trying to get into this space, and we have different questions, but just never, you know, feeling like I was asking a stupid question or that it wasn't relevant, and like, you know, just having a great time, having great debate. One of my favorite parts was that Wednesday when we were talking about just the impact of Web3 in Africa, the impact in Web3 in business. Like, these have just been great sessions for me, and I just really appreciated everybody contributing to my learning process, and I just thank you guys.
Oh, awesomeness is just there just really aren't even words to describe the knowledge that was gained, the connections that were made, and I know that also happened for the
guys. Can you please stop? I am live.
And that
and the babies that have come on. Listen, we've been women out here, okay? We got babies coming through. It was amazing. It was great.
Wait, but that's totally how the conference has been, right? So we've been able to experience things in real time, and so, you know,
our authentic self to this space.
Yeah, and everybody has had this moment where they've been able to be at home. We're seeing that, you know, the world is kind of different. Like, we're remote, people are at home, and they are just in their moments, right? And so you're seeing that everywhere, and it's happened, and that's just the world we live in now. And so get used to it, because we're going into the metaverse the same way. So you're going to be in that space, but your avatar is going to be representing you. And that was one of my favorite moments, was being able to come on stage as my avatar and just be here, sucking the heck out of Tam.
I totally saw this. I was like, oh my God. I'm here by myself. I'm like, look over here, guys. Nobody's here, but this is so awesome.
Definitely enjoyed that. So, you know, we have been blessed.
It was cool.
Yinka, you were trying to talk, but I think you're lagging a little bit.
Now we can't hear you.
Oh, no, I was saying, that moment was cool because it really did shock us. Oh.
As much as like the Will Smith,
can you hear me now?
Chris Rock. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Probably more, Corey. Definitely more. I was more shocked at the avatar than that. Yes, definitely more shocked.
That was the knock heard around the world.
I was still more shocked at Nicole's avatar. Like, I was so geeked about it, because she did like a whole presentation, like, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
It was fun for sure. Yinka, we're trying to hear you. Go ahead. You're muted. Oh no. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me? No.
Yes, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Yeah, sounds good.
No. For a minute. Now it went back out.
It's coming in, in and out. Oh man. So we've got some great things coming up. So we're gonna stay tuned. Yinka will be right back. But I also wanted to give kudos to Natasha because during the first portion of our event, it was me, Natasha, and Yinka doing a lot of things behind the scenes and plotting and planning for this thing. And, we put Tasha as the muscle on some stuff and she got it done. So I want to say thank you for that. And then also for being a hostess because you were one of our initial hostesses and you were able to come through and be here and be present for that. So thank you. And then other Natasha also. We have two Tashas, and they just both happen to also be Tasha R's, which is funny. But Natasha R. Rivera came through at the end to really support us with doing some things that, we just didn't have time to do. And so we were finding ourselves really, really busy. But man, you were able to definitely come through in a pinch. And so we thank you for that. You've also had some fun with us because we've gone through the metaverse together and we definitely enjoyed that whole entire experience, as interesting as it was. We were able to have fun. And so that is what this whole thing has been about empowering each other and being able to fulfill each other and have fun doing it, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the situation. We were able to do that. And so, yes, I'm going to try to bring up Yinka again. Yinka, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but of course, technology is always going to mess with us. And it has tried very hard this whole event to try to come at us. But, we conquered and we're still here. So I'm happy about that. Yeah. So, I'm really excited about the fact that we were able to present this. There is a few committee members that weren't able to join us. Anna Isabel is actually traveling right now. She's a photographer, and you guys were able to be introduced to her NFT goddesses, where she recreates women into like goddesses. And that was actually pretty cool to see the transformation that they went through. She actually won a grant for her work. And so I just want to say once again, congratulations to her. Much success. Can't wait to see plenty more goddesses out there. Consider Nigerian goddesses as well. We got a couple. So, if you need a model, I would love to. I'm just kidding. But I'm excited about that and looking forward to seeing much success to her as well. But like we were mentioning, life happens, right? When you're live streaming and you're at home, we had a few speakers that had their kids with them, right? So it's what's normal nowadays. This is the new norm. This is what we're doing. But I'm hoping that one day we're able to actually have all of these women in one place. So that is the goal, to eventually go from live stream event to like physical in person, trying to come up with here. And when that's going to happen, it's going to be challenging, but I would love to see that part come through.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here to be part of this Mob Squad. It's fun getting to know everybody. I've learned a lot here. Some interesting topics, things that I didn't know about. Otzi blew me away, just like Nicole's avatar blew me away also. But this conference has been mind-blowing. I love it. I love every one of you. I am happy to be part of the Mob Squad.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I think that, I want to do something really, really quickly. Jinka, let me know how much time we have, but I do want to share really quickly. This is a sneak peek into something that is important to us as committee members, and that is our Discord. I want to share really quickly just our committees information here so you can see it. And we have a special channel where if you are in the Discord, you can certainly come through and do what I'm doing, and that is come into our committee section and check out each of our committee members. So we have Yinka, we have Natasha Raymond, we have myself, Nicole Maxwell, we have Naja Roberts as one of our event leads. We have Tam Fitzgerald as one of our event leads. Anna Isabel as one of our event leads. Corey Clay as one of our event leads. Wash your hands. Sabrina Bonini as one of our event leads. Lavina Ramkisun as one of our event leads. And Julia Seward. And Julia Seward is, you haven't seen her, but she absolutely was a pivotal part of this team because she actually was able to do our website for us. So she designed our website. I want to give her kudos for that. She's a full stack developer and she's not been on screen. And then also Adele and Pam and Natasha Riviere. So thank you guys for being a part of this. We appreciate all of you.
Yes. Thank you, ladies. And so we have one more surprise guest that I'm really excited to have. We will take a break. Let's do a 5-minute break and then have her come up when she's ready. And we'll do a quick, Q&A with her, see what she's coming into the space to do and how she's navigating through this space. So I'm really excited. We'll be right back in 5 minutes.
What's up, and welcome back.
Yes, well, back. So Corey, I'm really happy that this event was successful because I think a lot of people are looking at it and they're trying to see, whether women can come together, right, in this ecosystem that we're creating, and be able to bridge and connect and form a family, a community, a real community. I believe we've been able to do that. We've been historically, we've set it on the charts of, I want to say Guinness World Book of Records. I'm putting it out there. This has been the first event that has been created by women, have speakers internationally that were all women, right? In a space where oftentimes you hear event planners say that there's no women, or they couldn't find women, or who could talk about blockchain, crypto, NFTs, DAO, DeFi. And that's just not the case. There's a lot of women, and they're all passionate about this space. They all want to add to this space, and it's great being surrounded by well over 100. And that's only a small segment, because there's a lot more women in this space that we did not even touch as of yet.
Absolutely. And the fact that there were so many women of color, that was really, really an amazing thing, because so often, even when there's women in Web3, they're women that are do not look like you and me. And to see that there are so many women from all ranges, all diversities, but especially seeing women of color doing the things that they're doing in the space, running companies, creating platforms. Tavania Evans, who you had, who's the creator of GuapCoin, and I saw her, the write-up they did on her yesterday, an amazing guest. These are all women, but especially women of color, doing things in a space that traditionally, as Clev Messidor said, the guest we had today on Table Talk Thursday, just really aren't seen. They're not people that are, out there in the forefront. So you gave those women a platform, and that is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we gave those women a platform because, we all came together to do this. And it is amazing. It's amazing because, in the midst of people still trying to seek and find out the women in blockchain, right? We're basically showing them that we're already here. You don't need to search that high. If you look to your left and maybe to your right, you might see us, right? But perhaps you've ignored us. And that could be because, from what we learned during one of your segment, that echo chamber, right? That we tend to create, and all these cognitive biases that we come with into this space, and we're using it to navigate through this space as well. It's not the best thing for us. And we got to get outside of that, get outside of your comfort zone, connect with people that you normally wouldn't connect to. And I think that's what Web3 is all about, being able to tap in and reach people all across the globe that we have not been because of, geographical confinement, and various other reasons. But there are a number of women in this space who are jumping in and doing what they have to do, and they continue to jump in and do what they have to do, and we're building in this space as well.
Yeah, just like Sandy said, that was one of our guests today, and she was talking about community as being one of the top things that make this space so wonderful and great. We've created a community, a sisterhood, if you will, of women, and all people need to do is get into our Discord, going to www.womenofblockchain.org to get access, so that they can join our community and be part of the sisterhood. And I love it that, we all hear that phrase in Web3, wag me, right? Y'all gonna make it.
Wag me means women are gonna make it.
There you go.
We're gonna make it. Like, seriously, we are the one that's gonna make it in this space, right? Because we take our time to understand this space. We understand that education is very much important. We're not FOMOing in on a mass number, right? To us, it's all about the community that we're cultivating. It's all about making sure that the next woman that jump into this space realize that there's others around her who are willing to support her and uplift her. So wag me, women are gonna make it. That's
I love it. Absolutely what we're about. And the willingness to help, to support, to mentor is just amazing. And it's not, all of those old cliches that you hear about women, being catty and, jealous hearted and not wanting to see each other succeed, that this puts all of that to shame and to the wind, because that's exactly where it belongs. This is a new day, and this new technology is going to take us places that we have never dreamed possible.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited for the next speaker, and I know she doesn't have that much time, So, I want you and I to introduce this next speaker. We're going to have another individual come on stage with her. But, we talked about celebrities jumping into this space, and Sandy mentioned quite a few. And, and also Kayla too, as well. And so, people are coming into this space and they're realizing that there is something for them, right? Especially artists in their own right who have been, cultivating their craft. They've been in this for a minute. They've sold out. They've been Grammy nominated, and all these wonderful things. But now this is a way for them to take back control, right? Because oftentimes, if you make a lot of money, you have a lot of other people that you got to feed or pay.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But this space is allowing artists on a greater scale to be able to take control of their craft and also represents themselves in the way that they want to be represented, right? And for good causes and for good reasons. So I am very happy to bring to the stage, and I know, she's not on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast. And for reasons, she's not going to have her camera on, and maybe she'll change her avatar, so we'll see. But I do want to bring to the stage Tamika Harris and Jewel as well. So as you guys know, Tamika Harris is a famous singer. She is she was part of a group that were straight from Atlanta, Georgia, called Escape. She's also, I would call her an actress because she did have her own show with her family as well. But she's doing a lot, and she's a mom. She's a mom first and foremost. So Jewel, thank you for joining, and thank you for connecting us to Tamika. Tamika, welcome, and I hope you're doing well.
Hi, how y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I'm not doing the best, but I'm gonna make it.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me this morning, and I'm just I was listening, and I was glad to hear that this organization is about helping and empowering other women and teaching them about this space, because I'm here to learn. Very interested in getting in this space, but yet I'm still learning, the ins and out. So, it's refreshing to hear that you guys are here to help and teach, because I have a lot of things that I feel like I could do on the NFT space, as far as some music that I never released and probably never would release if it wasn't for like the NFT space. Um, just a lot of creative things how I can get creative and show some parts of me or some sides that I don't have to be tied down to anybody.
Do you prefer Tamika or Tiny?
Either is fine. I don't have a preference.
Well, I think that our audience knows you because I was a big fan of the show when it
Me
was
too.
on air as Tiny, and you are just adored by many. And I know
Thank you.
from watching the show that you are totally about women's empowerment, women's groups, doing things that are going to, help women be their best selves. And I'm so excited to hear that you are getting ready to enter into the NFT space. And how do you
Yeah.
see that fitting in with your women's empowerment kind of activities?
Well, one, I think that, showing women that I'm in that space is also going to have other women want to, build and get in that space as well. Let them know that, it is room for us, that we can do the same. We can do it ourselves. Two, I'm just, whatever it is that, however I can empower or help other women, I'm all for it. I don't have a threshold of what I will not do to help empower and help build with women. That is like my goal at this time, to help other women, because it's our time.
It is. Amen to that. And I know that I love the music of Escape. Again, big fan of yours. dating
Thank
myself,
you.
but yes, Generation X are here. So grew up on Escape and all the music that I love from that era. Will this be music that you are doing as a solo artist? Will it be some music from the group that was never released, or just something totally different?
So it'll be some music, a solo music that I was working on at the time, and when my producer passed, and I want to, I guess, just do something with it. It was really good music, and I was planning on releasing. Then I kind of turned around because of that. Also, I am speaking to the girls about getting in the NFT space too. So we're all trying to learn, and it's very new to us. It's a whole nother world that we've never really embraced or got in or learned about. So at this point, I'm still trying to learn and then bring it to them. I bring it to them bits and pieces, and they're all like, okay, it sounds good, but so what do we got to do next? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me find out.
Well,
So
there's no experts in this space yet, because you heard from the guests that we had on here that everything is just so new. So, sometimes we don't understand why things happen, but God has his timing, and your
Mhm.
timing certainly could not be more perfect.
well, thank you. I'm just, I pray. I'm a God fearing woman, and I am just, walking in my this is my footsteps in the journey behind God. Hopefully he's leading me to the way I need to be. And
Definitely.
Jules, I gotta give her, all the credit too, because she's the one who brought me in this. She's the one who basically came and said, you got to learn about this NFT space. And I'm like, okay, and I'm listening. It's so much. Um seems like a lot, seems kind of technical, but I'm sure once I really go dive head first that I will be I'll get in the groove. But I do want to, like, even with other women, like I said, I was trying to get the girls just as enthused as I am, and they sound like, yeah, let's find out about it. But I don't know enough to really grab them and bring them in. But I'm trying, starting here.
Awesome. We love the fact that you're focused on understanding this space and not just coming into this space for a cash grab, right? Because that's
Yeah,
oftentimes where celebrities go wrong. This is a community that we're cultivating and we're building, and we always welcome individuals who are coming into this space to be educated, because there's a
yeah,
lot more that you can do with this. And I know you have kids, and especially your baby girl. So Harris, I'm sure
yeah,
she's into Roblox, right? She could create
yeah.
her
She
own
loves
meta
it.
world. Yes,
She
They're
loves it.
like
She's
my kids;
addicted
they
to
can't get
Roblox.
enough of Fortnite.
Oh yeah. Well, she's addicted to the Roblox. Every other day, she's asking for some money to buy some houses or something.
that's the way it goes. Well, the thing is, in this space, she could create her own world and invite her friends to experience that with her.
Oh
So
wow.
we're excited to educate both you and your family about the space and the many things that are could be realized from this technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I can't wait. I mean, she'll probably pick up faster than me because she's, the young generation this is their world, and I'm just,
Hmm.
trying to. I'm so stuck in my old ways that it's taking me a minute, but I am here to learn.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Jewel, thank you very much for connecting us with Tamika. Is there anything that you want to say?
Sure.
Oh, I couldn't unmute. I'm sorry. Yes, I had been scouring the clubhouse, trying to find a perfect fit that I felt for Tiny, and I came across Yinka, and I watched her for uh, about a week, And then I was like, bingo, that's the one. So I told Tanya, you got to meet this lady. She has this organization where she empowers women, and she'll teach you. So I said, well, let me speak with Yinka first. And after I spoke with her, I was like, perfect fit. So the NFTs mean a lot to us. She has one that she's doing that's a piece of artwork that is also the undertone of it is empowering women. So we're working on that right now, and then she will come with the other NFTs that she has. So I just thank Yinka and you all for this organization, for the opportunity, and I can't wait for Tamika to dive in. Actually, we're both going to dive in. So and and take the ball down the field. Thank you, guys. It's a blessing. Thank you.
Well, you
Thank
guys
you.
already started. You've already started on the journey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And we appreciate you ladies joining us. Tamika, any last words?
Just looking forward to working with all of you and learning more and being able to also teach and bring other women in and help empower them as you guys are helping empower me.
Well, Jewel
Awesome.
and Tiny, welcome to Web3.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow,
Wow.
Yinka. Where else could we see Tiny Harris basically onboarded into Web3 except this conference?
Except this conference, right? The many surprises that we have for y'all. No, but that's fantastic. I love the fact that, she wants to come on the proper way, right? She sees the opportunities, but she also understands the importance of learning about the space. And I couldn't be happier. We're excited to lead her towards her journey and having her realize her NFT. That's going to be really exciting. So I can't wait for that.
Oh my gosh. All she has to do is go down the roster of the guests that you had here, and she's in the perfect place. Absolutely perfect place.
Exactly. Like I've been sending some of the replays to her. I'm like, go ahead, watch this. So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But I would, we ran way over what we typically run. So I do want the committee members to come back and let's start wrapping up. I want all of y'all to give information about what you're doing, what's coming up next for you all, as well as if you have any ask. And that's very important in this space, right? Because you never know who might have the reach, the capabilities, et cetera, to assist you. So let's go ahead and start with you, Corey.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys, you can see my Twitter handle there at Color Crypto. Pretty much if you want to reach out to me, that's where you can find me. Web3 crypto NFT Twitter. I do host a YouTube show that's a Web3 news show at 8 p.m. Eastern in April. We were doing Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but we are switching to a 3-day schedule in April, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8 p.m. But tonight I will be on at 8 p.m. interviewing Dr. Cynthia Overton, a PhD and an expert in women in tech, particularly as a woman of color in tech. So we're going to be talking with her about all things Web3, have an interview with a NFT, woman-led NFT project, because we do those all the time on our show called the Whimsy Sisters. That'll be Friday night. So tune in. That's my ask. Tune in and watch at 8 p.m. on this week, Thursday and Friday.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Corey. Nicole, what are you working on? What's coming up next for you, and what is your ask?
Man, I've got so much that I'm working on. I don't want to take up too much time. I would say that to connect with me, support Blackverse. Blackverse is an organization that is dedicated to the education, training, and advancement of Black people across the decentralized metaverse and multiverse. We're taking us straight into the future. So if you want to be empowered, you want to be in the know, connect with me at blackverse.io. You can also connect with me at Meta Mindshift, because the future is decentralized. And the world was kind of opened up to a metaverse, and that metaverse was not decentralized. We all know that the future of the metaverse is definitely decentralized. So talk to me at metamindshift.com, and we can talk about how to get you and your business in this space. I am going to be working on many projects coming up. So the Blackverse Summit is coming up, so stay tuned for that. Blackverse has a whole lot of things going on, and then myself, we've got some projects coming up, but I cannot reveal those yet. I am excited to be working on them and bringing them to both the community and to the blockchain. This is Nicole, and my voice is resting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Natasha Rivera, what are you working on and what is your ask?
Oh, so right now I'm working on NFTs. I'm a chef for 20 years. So I'm working on my recipes and my cookbooks and a couple other things. Also helping people to onboard in the space if they don't, know what to do. So I'm happy to help. And my link tree is at the bottom. You can contact me there.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Natasha. Natasha Raymond, what are you working on and what is your ask?
Okay, for me, Tasha 2. You can find all things about me at natashareeman.com. You can find my blog there. You can find my social media. I ask that you can help us share the word about my daughter's NFT collection on OpenSea. If you go to natashareeman.com, you can find my Twitter, and you can reshare or retweet my pinned tweet about her collection. And that's it.
Thank you, Natasha. What is your ask?
Tam.
Yes. Okay. I was late. I didn't hear anything.
What are you
Yeah.
working on and what is your ask?
Okay, well, what I'm working on is, because I'm not like in this space completely just yet, I still have my financial advising business, in which I utilize life insurance policies and to help people to create generational wealth, as well as tax-free retirement planning. So you can definitely check me out on Instagram and on Facebook. At my handle is at the bottom, Fitz Financial HTX. On Twitter, I am Fitz Finance HTX. So please, connect with me there. I'm also on my way to Bitcoin 2022 on next week. And so if anybody is interested in connecting, again, connect me on my socials. I'm definitely looking for opportunities to do interviews, because I really like doing this, learning and continuing to further my own education in the space. And I am I'm also interested in any volunteer opportunities. I'm going to be volunteering with Naja Roberts' tour, the DFR tour, where she's traveling to about 41 cities so far. That list can get longer, but she's traveling to really spread the information about Bitcoin and this technology in the Web3 space. So I'm open to opportunities that will help me volunteer and just continue to make connections in this space. But please, my ask is to go ahead and go over to my socials and follow me and connect with me there in my inbox.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tam. Appreciate it. Lavina, are you there? I'm not sure if I'm slow. Lavina, are you back? All right, let's skip Lavina for now and go to Sabrina. Sabrina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. What are you working on and what is your ask?
So yes, I'm currently working on 2 exhibitions, NFT exhibitions of Hispanic women. One is going out in a place called doinggood.com. It's a Polygon marketplace, and it's going out on the 6th of April. And then I have another exhibition, and I'm going to be doing also like a table talk in the Cello Connect event that is happening on Monday and Tuesday in Barcelona, which is where I live. And I'm super excited about that because the exhibition is as well with Hispanic women. And I'm super excited to be, empowering them and making them visible. So yeah, and I continue doing that. I'm doing a lot of that stuff, and you can see everything in criptoescultura.com, and also in my socials. In Twitter, I'm criptoescultura, and in Instagram the same. And my ask is just get in touch. I love to know people. If I can help in any way to connect you to the Hispanic community or help you open up to the Hispanic community, I'm here for that. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Lavina, are you back? Can you hear us? I think we may be running into some delay. There you are. What are you working on and what is your ask? Hey, Lavina, are you there? All right, I see she unmuted, but I can't hear her. Can you guys hear her? Lavina?
She's not talking, but we can hear the background. I see her.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we see her, but I don't think she hears us. Lavina, are you there? All right. So I'm gonna skip her and hopefully we can get the audio connected. If you're there, please feel free to interrupt. But for me, I'm working on a lot, right? I want to start working on the fact that we need to start planning 2023 and making sure that we have more than 2 months to plan it. Well, less than 2 months to plan it. So that would be something that I definitely want to jump into, but I want to give all of the community members some rest before we jump into that. And then, BWBC just recently was approved to have a sister arm that's a nonprofit. So I'll be jumping into that and trying to cultivate scholarships for Black women to enter this space and participate in a way that historically has not been available to us, but giving us funding to be able to travel to different events, being able to participate in this space when we need it. As well as, the fact that, I do have Black Women Blockchain Council. Black Women Blockchain Council has been partnering up with several different companies in this space to facilitate pathways for our community. We partnered up with Consensus about 2 years ago, and, it's been a long process for us to get here, but by the end of Q2, we will have our blockchain developer program that will be ready to be rolled out. I'm really excited about this because one of the biggest things that we wanted to do was to create a roadmap for Black women to enter this space as developers. And so being able to roll up your sleeve and be able to code a smart contract is very important for us. So in partnership with Consensus, you will be able to learn Solidity smart contract, which is part of the Ethereum Foundation. And not only will there be a dev portion, but there's also a non-technical portion, which we're calling the solution architect portion, which basically gives you a deeper understanding of blockchain and how it could relate to your industry. Because as we know, and as probably you know, a lot of these corporations out here are looking at building their blockchain infrastructure. And the best way to do that is to have a seat at the table and be able to navigate and help them direct the way that they're going to implement this. And the good thing is you'll also have cohorts to reach back to who you can tap into and say, look, I have someone who knows how to build smart contract. And that's something that's needed more in this ecosystem, especially for women, period, right? Because we know that there's not a lot of women devs that knows how to build smart contract in this space, and being able to add to that is very important, and I think it's well needed. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the different opportunities that are going to be created through this event alone. I mean, we're going to come back next year and be like, I know her when, right? So a lot of these speakers and a lot of our committee members, they're going to be able to scale and tap into the opportunities that are being cultivated right now. I want y'all to join the Discord. I want y'all to tap in. And if you go to womenofblockchain.org/Discord, it will take you to our Discord page and you'll be able to log in and connect. Just make sure you click on your role or else the Discord will not open up to you. The different channels in the Discord will not open up to you. We want y'all to tap in. We want y'all to take opportunity of the fact that this event has been running. And now this is your chance to communicate and connect with the different type of women that you were able to see during this event. I also want y'all to, consider, getting involved in the blockchain program that we're about to release. If that's something that's interesting to you, go to bwbc.io and click on blockchain program and you'll be able to sign on to our Google Sheet that we're cultivating. Because once we roll this out, we want to make sure that we send out the news to the entire community and let them know that this is available for you. The great thing about this is that, consensus is back in there. And as you know, consensus is the #1 spot when it comes to Solidity smart contract. It will be a certification path, so you will have consensus name on it, as well as Black Women Blockchain Council's name on it. And that way, people will know that it's a credible certification that allows you to train and be taught within the Ethereum blockchain. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the many different opportunities that are being created. I'm excited about the potential networking and partnerships that will come. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about what we women are building and adding to this space. I look forward to when my daughter gets introduced fully into this space, because I'm trying to get her to start creating her own meta worlds right now. She loves to interior decorate, so I may have a mini artsy, on my hand. But I do definitely want to cultivate her interest and her talent, because as we know, there's so much more to life, right? And our kids oftentimes have a vision, have a direction of where and what they want to do in life. It's our job as parents, as aunts, uncles, or whatever we serve in their life, to be able to encourage them and cultivate those talents. Because as we know, the future is being built by creativity, and creativity is what's going to spearhead ahead. So I want to make sure that you guys encourage the kids, encourage your neighbors, encourage other women, encourage guys, encourage everyone to get into this space, and not let fear be the one motivation to navigate them through this space. Education is out there, education is provided, and we want to thank you all for joining us in this event as we lend you some resources to be able to navigate again and fully into this space. So thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate this event. I cannot believe that we did 31 days. And we're here. We're here. We are here at 31 days. Women are in blockchain, and we're stronger and better than ever. Don't you ever forget that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yay!
Thank you.
We did it.
We did it. We did it.
That's the music.
We did it.
The music.
All right, here we go.
Yay.